Hello, hello. 哪里吧喏？Okay.
Hey, I still remember what you said. Never low, me she me. Dago me don't like it. Hey, age is hard, I'm losing it. Never low, me that day. Darling, I child say. A pure me a loga gire. Ngata sani yene. Gon kaluni a imya prema pia ke. 超个概念你也妙的，我的三年呢，偏对来撇苦耶。地罗妙的当家的罗 ，crawling back to you, I'm crawling back to you。地罗妙的当家的罗 ，I'm crawling back to you, I'm crawling back to you。Still remember what you said. Never low, me she me. Dago me don't like it. Hey, ages hard, I'm losing it. Never low, me that day. Darling, I child say. A pure me a loga gire. Ngata sani ye.
Tanano.
Go kaluni a imya pempi again. 超个概念你妙的，我的三年呢，偏对来偏苦耶。地个妙的当家的罗 ，I'm crawling back to you, I'm crawling back to you。地个妙的当家的罗 ，I'm crawling back to you, I'm crawling back to you。I'm crawling back to you. I'm 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 crawling back.
Minchina Paro, two towley, you jaggy, baby belly, a show you occasionally. Toda sickly take my own. Say tea is a girl who told him Yazone, Mrs. Laita. Turning when it I'm a hockey bula, a patient or bula. Go the den with me, a tally that the game of hoop, a telephone in my kind of bula. To get the dimia bula, the agent with me, a tell me, be me own ninja. Be my chin in my car, the go teacher with a novel. Hey, go to get down and my car, I don't look a day I could hear my dive. She's a young baby, and bring a sheet and me bang yazo. Chile, Minchina Paro, a me ja on me, a sallowaye, Bianquillo be oli. A general when it I'm a hockey bula, a patient or bula. Go the den with men, Johnny died the game of hoop, telephone in my guy, or bula, to get the dimia bula. The agent with me, I tell me, be me own ninja. Hey, could the get down and my kind I don't look a day I can hear my die.
Has to bring a essentially completely different draft to the table, but it's the same exact story for Mayhem Evolve. Matilda's though now going to be open for Mayhem. They have the Hylos already. They can throw Hylos into the EXP, and now they have that tanky EXP that they lacked last game, which I think could be very solid for them.
I mean, assuming he's going to the EXP, because here's the thing. I've played a Matilda going up against a Bruno. If I wanted to ult against the Bruno, I will not survive. Just with a few kicks, I'll die. So even picking up the Matilda, it is quite the risk. Not a bad idea, but it is a risk. Once the Bruno has 3 items, it's going to be tough for you to tank all of that. And now they pick up the Alpha as well as the Valentina. Still hiding where this Hylos is going.
Yeah, and they might still consider the Matilda later on if they just want to go with the standard type of combinations that are there. But the Joy...
Yeah, the Joy picked up here.
So they pick up the Joy, and there is also a possibility that they still... Well, I think Tracy would like to get the Hilda though. Like it's a very aggressive roamer. He's known for like all those jaw heads and all that. So we definitely want to add to the pressure.
Always on the way.
Second phase of Banzo coming in. KBG going to take out the Granger. I got a feeling they will take out the Beatrix, unlike EV didn't do last time. No, they go for the Phobia. So some people just, I mean, it's solid, but they do leave something open for Mayhem here. But I think KBG's confident after game 1. They are a bit more late game present this time, having the Joy, having the Bruno, but they have that Hilda to kind of keep them forward and keep them pushing throughout the mid and early to get to that phase.
Yeah. The thing is, when you pick up a Hilda, you kind of signaling to the opponent, you guys can't use an assassin here. So picking up the Alpha here, I don't even know if this Hilda is going to be all that punishing towards it was Macam. Unless KBG picks up a roamer that can pair up with the Hilda as well to make sure that there is some kind of aggression going on. The Joe is not there, but there's still quite a few that can pair up with the Hilda. And now, Mayhem Evolve, they pick up the Gato Kacha. Not going to let the Gato Kacha go to KBG because Gato and Hilda is going to be very difficult to handle. And now picking up the Harif. An option. You can press the lane going up against the Bruno, but again, the Bruno can go for a Malefic Gun second item and then you neutralize the lane.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like team fight, this feels like a much better, well-rounded draft from Mayhem Evolve compared to earlier. Like the conditions are clear; they're not just so focused on a particular area of what they need to do in order to pull off the conditions of their lineup. But for KBG, that we aren't entirely sure whether or not Hilda will be in the roam or not.
I feel like EXP.
I feel like the other there's a Kaja sometimes. Oh,
Even that though, it still could be EXP and Rome
Actually,
Khalid.
yeah.
Honestly, we've seen.
I
the
feel like Rome Khalid is solid, yeah.
Goes over to Tracy, so it does look, they do the swap over to Tracy, so it will be a Rome Khalid. Gives them some nice early aggression, some nice wave clear, and we've seen KBG like to move fast to the off lanes. That's going to help them get that.
Thank you very much to our panelists, and now we're passing it over to our casters. We're going in.
Thank you so much, Lofel. Again, here on the desk, it's... Here you go. Welcome back. It's game number 2. It's match point already for KBG, and it seems like MyCom Evolve have finally evolved in their drafts as well. They've actually taken a lot of the meta picks now. The Alpha coming in, also the Gacha. It's all about Prio now. If you take a look at MyCom Evolve.
Finally, Marquino goes for a secondary tank for the XP laner, so it feels like we're gonna feel him more for this game.
Let's see if MyCom Evolve can equalize here in the elimination bout, or if Keep Best Gaming will shut the dreams of MyCom Evolve down to keep theirs alive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 2. Saksa this time on the Joy, up against Aurora on that Alpha, and you can already see the Khalid, Tracy on this Khalid, very, very aggressively trying to get into the enemy jungle. But this is what the Hylos and Gata does, man. It stops any sort of invade from happening in the early game.
But at the same time, you know, the Khalid, the Hilda, we all know that these are heroes that are aggressive. First 4 minutes, first 5 minutes in, it's usually their power spike to just disrupt the jungle, disrupt the rotation of MyCom Evolve. I'm honestly expecting a very, very fast game for KBG, if ever they start things out strong.
Definitely. We can take a look at the emblems here. The Master Assassin, actually, from Lexi. Very confident. Matt. Okay, we'll take a bit of damage there. A little bit of a freeze, too. Feshin and Matt revitalize early. But again, for the emblems, it's the Master Assassin for Lexi. So still very, very confident that he will get the dub in this laning phase. Wants to get as much of an advantage as possible. Meanwhile, for Yurokotsu, it's that Bargain Hunter to get to the item power spikes quicker. It seems like Wind Return will try to cut in the waves. And Marquinhos, if he stays here too long, he might actually lose a couple of minions himself.
Yeah, oh, look at the slows. And now the 3 attackiest heroes are just going at it at each other. Wind Return has to use a Revitalize to walk away, and Saksa to the rescue. Casting his Electrifying Beast just to zone out MyCom Evolve alive. But he might actually get a kill here. A quick response from the rest of the members of KBG. Another Revitalize will be popped by MyCom.
It's all about the Revitalize, just healing back up. MyCom Evolve unable to punish that greedy little, cut up top. But KBG know their limits quite well. They know that Griselda is very, very hard to kill, has to revitalize as well. And Turtle number 1 will be spawning in the game. Tracy, not level 4 just yet, and Aurora actually opting to go for the purple buff first.
Yeah. Right now, Glorious Pathway from Marquino is there to try and zone out KBG. Matt trying to work on Tracy. And a good Spear of Alpha coming in from MyCom Evolve. First blood will go to Marquino. A double kill already for Wind Return. Make it 3 for KBG. They're gonna get another one. Sets their eye on Feshin. Feshin has to use the dash to walk away now. And here comes KBG just rolling right now. 4-0 start.
It's amazing for KBG. For MyCom Evolve, it's another disaster in the early game. Yurokotsu.
Okay, 1v1 between the two. Goes in with a flicker. And an outplay, a disaster for KBG. Yurokotsu has the higher ground with the help of the tower.
Everything went their way up top. It's only fair that MyCom Evolve get a win somewhere else on the map and they get in the bottom lane.
Elevates and detonates with the AOG to bring down LMU. MyCom Evolve slowly finding favorable trades for their side.
Okay. And just like that, KBG now have to hold back again. Lexi is losing in that 1v1, well, has lost in that 1v1, and MyCom Evolve are actually able to get a kill on. So the goal lead isn't as massive as we expected early on. Now it's actually getting brought down again. Still though, there's one big problem for MyCom Evolve.
What's that?
They got Saksa 2-0-2 on the Joy to deal with later on, right? So MyCom Evolve are going to have to really be careful about how they use their resources. If they try to go for the backliners, Luomu, or even, Lexi, you're going to use a lot of resources, and Saksa might just be able to clean the entire team up.
Yeah.
You have to save some of these stuns for Saksa, because we've seen how deadly a last-minute joy could be. Wind return.
Okay, Taunt, Wind Return up against 4, gonna get caught up by a lot of ultimate. Spear of Alpha plus the Frigid Glacier manages to stay alive and revitalize. They're using a lot of resources just to take him down. On the other hand, Yurikotsu trying to defend the mid lane turret up against LMU and Tracy.
Okay, so KBG actually still keep the gold lead here because they're able to get Bilexi into the bottom lane, taking the entirety of the turret gold. Bilexi is quite bad now. Look at that. You know, he's made up for that solo kill, that solo death.
Yeah.
Almost taking down a tier 1 turret in the 4th minute of the game.
Yeah, I just like how Bilexi's still unfazed. He has the Master Assassin, got solo killed by Yurikotsu, but still keeps his composure. Again, this is a best of 3, not what we're used to with the best of 1s for the Swiss format. So KBG has actually the upper hand and Makeup Evolve. The pressure is actually on their team if they want to stay alive.
It's a bit odd that Mycom Evolve has been the one losing out in the neutral objective battle with the Aurora, on the Alpha, with Marquinhos, Hylos, and Gatot, Wind Return, trying to get an angle to attack here. Mycom Evolve are not committing onto the neutral objective. They're leaving KBG an opportunity. Aurora went in.
Oh, Raging Sandstorm, blood to revitalize. Here comes the Frigid Glacier, gonna catch 3. Glorious Pathway coming in from Marquinhos, another AOG. Killing spree coming in from Saksha. The clutch is continuing. Who's gonna out-sustain each other? Another revitalize. Aurora goes in with Spear of Alpha. Finally gonna have an answer. It's gonna be a 1v1 between LMU and Marquinhos. Ring of Punishment. Who's gonna win? Pride of Ice will be popped, and I think LMU can turn things around with the Frosty Brace to bring him down.
The 1v1 goes to Luomu. Oh man, the horse timed it so well, got the stun down as well. We could see the problem for Mycom Evolve already. They burnt out all their resources at the start of the fight, and Saksa was able to dish out so much damage in that fight. And now Saksa's back onto the turtle.
Man, this is just the second turtle. A lot of action is happening right now, and Saksa will secure it, along with their electrifying beats, forcing Makeup Evolve to retreat instead. No trade once again from Makeup Evolve.
And now KBG, they're back to the lead that they had earlier. Tracy and Bilexi.
Okay, they're gonna work on Aurora, forcing out the Spear of Alka. Here comes the Raging Sandstorm. Bilexi, just too much to handle. One more hit, and he has got the goal and bring down Aurora.
Again, punishing these overextensions from Mycom Evolve seems to be the way to go from KBG. And the fact that Mycom Evolve keep on going on Wind Return, I'm not a big fan of this, man. Wind Return is the tank here, and I don't think Keepas Gaming lose a lot even if Wind Return goes 0-7.
They did this a while ago in the top lane. They had to use the Spear of Alpha plus the Frigid Glacier just to try and bring him down. It took a lot of resources. End time, Saksha going in with electrifying beats as Bilexi just working on the top lane, gonna get another turret for KBG.
Literally denying the trade over from Mycom Evolve in the bottom lane by clearing out the minion wave while getting yourself a tier 1 up top. Now they're starting to group up, and now it's going to be a problem for Mycom Evolve because all these fights, you know, Bilexi hasn't really been participating in these fights. It's mainly been a 4v4. Now that Bilexi can actually rotate, Tracy has got to be careful.
Here's a stun again, quick sand guard, sustain from both of these teams is just too much to handle. But even though they have 2 revitalize for each side, they have a lot of sustain with their XP and roam. It's still a 6-9 kill scoreboard 7 minutes in, so the kills are coming in despite the high HP that these two compositions has.
And that's the Blood Wings, actually. The choice for Saksa to go for his second item. We usually expect something a bit more aggressive, but Saksa knows just how vulnerable he can be when he actually dashes in forward in these skirmishes. So the Blood Wings will definitely do him a lot in these skirmishes just to stay alive even more so that he can deal more consistent damage out. The Mycom Evolve, they got to deal with Luomu. This monster in the mid lane on the Aurora. 3, 1, and 5. The glowing one first item. You can see the poke actually start to really hurt Mycom Evolve.
Yeah.
Mycom Evolve, they're kind of stuck in a situation where their composition needs them to go for an all-in, but Keepas Gaming can also stall them out with Luomu.
Yeah, and even Tracy. Tracy has been soaking up a lot of damage to the point where you thought he was going to die. He's actually going to cast the Raging Sandstorm onto 3 members of Makeup Evolve and then bought enough time for KBG to actually respawn. That's why they have a lot of kills against Makeup Evolve, and this time the Lord has spawned. But Makeup Evolve, it looks like they want to contest for this objective.
They want to contest it. They have to be, I don't know.
Aura Barrage ဘာမှလည်း Aura Barrage ဘယ်သူကစစ်မှန်လဲဆိုတာမကြခင်ချိန်တွင်းမှာတော့ကြည့်ရတော့မယ်
စစ်မှန်တဲ့အရာတစ်ခုကျွန်တော်တို့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ Megan Ebuff အနေနဲ့ပြသတယ်မလားသို့မဟုတ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲ့ hero တကောင်ပဲ KBG ဘက်ကိုပြန်လဲပြီးတော့ ထမ်းနေပေးနိုင်မလားဗောနော်ဒီချက်တစ်ခုကြည့်ရမယ် Unbreakable နဲ့2 map ပေးတာပြီးတော့3ချက် Guardian တခု2နဲ့ Sandstone နဲ့ backline control နဲ့ damage တော့ Puff Wave ပြီးခင်းလာတဲ့ Breeze Glitch က Wave 10ပြန်ချခဲ့တဲ့ damage အောက်မှာ Body Shot တောက်ရှောက်ကန်ထားတဲ့ Matrici Mag ကိုပြန်ပြီးတော့အဆုံးသတ်ပေးထားသေးရဲ့ဗျာ 1-for-1 trade ခဲ့တဲ့ battle တခုမှာတော့ Billessy တက်ပြီးတော့ Malefic Gang လေးပြီးထားခဲ့တဲ့ character တခုမှာတော့
hello
ချိန်တိုးလို့တော့မရတော့ပါဘူး
ဘင်းကိုတွန်းမဲ့နေတာတခုတော့တွေ့ရလိမ့်မယ်ဒီတိုင်းဆိုရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်
ဒီမှာပွဲရခဏနေဆိုရင်တော့လာတော့မှာနော် brother
ရှင်ယူရတဲ့ပိုင်းတွေမှာပို့ပြီးတော့ကဲလာတယ် Clay ပြန်ပြီးတော့ carry ထားတယ် Refreshing နဲ့ သွေးလေးကနည်းနည်းပဲကြံတော့တယ်ဗျာကျွန်တော် Billessy အနေနဲ့တော့တောက်လျှောက် carry ထားနေတယ်ပဲဒီတစ်ခေါက်မှလည်းကျွန်တော် Harry ကိုလိုက်ပြီးတော့အိမ်နေကောတကောင်လို့တွေ့ရင်မှာဆက်ဆက်တောက်လျှောက်တိုက်နေပြီးစီတက်နေမိတိုင်းနေပဲဒီဘက်မှာ Fisher Dash အောက်မှာမရတော့ဘူး Harry ပြန်ပေးလိုက်ရတယ်ဗျာ
ဒါမှလည်း Killing Spree အနေနဲ့ Sasha ပြန်ချခဲ့တဲ့ character တခုမှာ No Jungler No Retribution ဆိုတဲ့ချင်းတခုတော့ Keep Bus Game ပြန်ပြီးတော့ခံစားနေရတဲ့ Sandstone နဲ့ပေးထားပြီး Backline Control Snake Gloria ပောက်ခွေ Felix Only ပေးတဲ့ damage အမလီယောကိုစီးလိုက်မှာ Tracy Glacier နဲ့2 match ဘက်ကမာနီယိုတောက်ချ pollution နဲ့မခံစားနိုင်တဲ့ character တခုမှာ Billessy ပြန်ပြီးတော့အဆုံးအသတ်ရတယ်ပဲ 1-for-1 trade မှာတော့ Megan Evolve ဒီလောထပ်ပြီးတော့တူးလို့တော့မရသေးပြန်ဘူးဗျာ
Overall ထိန်းသိမ်းဖို့ကြိုးစားခဲ့တဲ့အရာတခု Ricky ပေါက်လို့မရအောင်ဒါလောက်ခဲ့ပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်ဒီတစ်ခေါက်မှာတော့ကျွန်တော် Tracy down ပါတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ objective ကိုလည်း KBG ရအောင်သိမ်းမှတ်ခဲ့ပါသေးတယ်ဒီတိုင်းဆိုရင်တော့ကျွန်တော် Keepers Game ရဲ့ Mag Control အသာစီးကတော့သူတို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့လုံးလို့ရအောင်ပဲဗျာ
ဒီ objective ဘိုင်းအနေနဲ့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ပဲ Megan Evolve နဲ့လက်လွတ်ထားခဲ့တဲ့ character တခုမှာတော့ Tower Ban ရှိရသူတို့ဒီ Law နဲ့နီးရဲ့ဒီ same lane တခုမှာသူတို့သွားပြီးတော့ first tower ရခဲ့ဆိုပေမဲ့ဒီချက်တခုကတော့ Harry နဲ့ Tower Ban ယူခဲ့ရဆိုရင်တော့မှ Sasha ကိုပြန်ရခဲ့တာလို့ရှိရင်သူကိုယ်တိုင်လည်းဘလို့မှလွတ်မြောက်နိုင်ဆိုတော့မရှိတော့ဘူးဗျာအဲ့ဒီချက်တခုကျတော့ Megan Evolve တိစောက်ထားခဲ့တဲ့ timer တခုဒီကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ first law objective မှာပြီးဆုံးသွားခဲ့ပြီပြောရလိမ့်မယ် damage ပဲဆိုင်ရာအရာရောသူတို့ရဲ့ team composition အရာရောတစ်ဖက်က Hater နဲ့ Carly ကိုနည်းနည်းလေးတားဖို့အတွက်ကတော့ခက်ခဲနေသေးပါပဲ
ဒီတိုင်းဆို Media Wave တွေတောက်လျှောက်ထုံးပြီး second tower တွေအကုန်လုံးတောက်လျှောက် pressure ပြီးတော့မယ်ဗျာအပေါ်မှာသကောင်သေးလေးစီသွားပြီး aura နဲ့သွားဖန်ထားတာမျိုးတွေတွေ့ရတယ် 4K level အသာလေးယူထားတဲ့ KPG ကျွန်တော်ဒီတစ်ခေါက်မှာလည်းကျွန်တော်ထပ်ပြီးတော့ Mag Control ထပ်ယူပါတော့မယ် Tracy ကောင်းတော့နေတဲ့ကိစ္စတခုကတစ်ဖက်မှာရှိနေတဲ့ဒီ carry အတွက်တော်တော်လေးတိုက်ဖက်နေတယ်လို့ပဲပြောရမယ်
အဓိကတော့ Billessy နောက်ကနေ free hit ရနေခဲ့တယ်ဆိုတဲ့အချက်တခုကြောင့်လည်း Megan Evolve ရဲ့ frontline hero တွေနဲ့ထင်တယ်လို့ကြီးတော့မလွယ်တဲ့အနေအထားမျိုးတွေရောက်နေတယ်ပေါ့နော်တောက်လျှောက်ပဲသူတို့နဲ့ Puff Wave ဆက်ပြီးတော့ခင်းထားပြီး Marquinhos တောက်လျှောက်လိုက်ကျင်တဲ့ body shot Guardian နဲ့ backline control တွေအောက်မှာတော့ Billessy ပြန်ချပေးထားခဲ့တဲ့ damage ကြောင့် Glacier Foreman တောက်လျှောက်လျောက်မှုပြန်တားခဲ့တဲ့ damage တွေအောက်မှာတော့ first law impact တခုဒီ law bandage တခုတော့ Megan Evolve ပြန်လည်းပြီးတော့တားဆီးထားနိုင်ခဲ့ပါပြီ
Holy Crystal မှာပါလာပြီဗျ။ Tower Shi ဘာရောဆက်နေသေးတယ်။ဒါပေမဲ့ second tower တွေအကုန်လုံးတောက်လျှောက်ကျိုးနေခဲ့တဲ့အရာတခုမှာအပေါ်မှာလည်းကျွန်တော် Tower Shi ကတော့ပြီးသွားပြီဆိုတော့ဒီကတော့ကျွန်တော် Megan Evolve အကုန်ပေးရတော့မယ် second tower တွေအကုန်လုံးတော့
အဓိကတော့သူတို့အနေနဲ့ Mega Lane pressure ရိုင်းမဖိအောင်နည်းနည်းနောက်က main damage တွေလာလို့ပြောရမယ်တစ်ဖက်က Bruno ပြန်ပြီးတော့အင်ခဲ့တဲ့ချက်တခုကတော့ Mega Evolve တော်တော်လေးတော့အဆင်ပြေသွားတယ်နောက်မှတစ်ဖက်ကလည်း Tracy နဲ့ Sandstorm တွေတော့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ပေးရတယ်ကြာ full swing အနေငယ် Aurora လွှဲချော်သွားရတယ်ပဲ Rain Return ကိုသူတို့အဆုံးသတ်မဲ့အစီအစဉ်တစ်ခုကတော့ပြန်ရွေးလို့သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျာနောက်ပိုင်းမိနစ်ပိုင်းခြားတွေမှာ Carly နဲ့ Hater တို့ဒီကျွန်တော်တို့ high ground တက်ဖို့အတွက်တကယ်တော့မလွယ်တော့ဘူးတစ်ဖက်က Jewel တက်နေရှိနေကြတဲ့ခက်တဲ့မျိုးတွေမှာ Second Resource တောင်မှအရင်တိုးလို့မရတဲ့မိနစ်ပိုင်းခြားကိုရောက်လာတယ်ဗျာသို့တော်လည်းပဲနောက်ကကွာဟမှုတွေတစ်ဖက်က KBG ရဲ့ backline တွေက join လို့ပါလာခဲ့တဲ့ damage တွေအရာတော့ Megan Evolve အနေနဲ့ထင်တယ်လို့ကြီးလဲလွယ်တော့မလွယ်သေးပါဘူး
Power Pass ကိုပဲလာမှုနေတဲ့ကျွန်တော်ရအောင်တော့ယူပေးထားတယ်ပဲဒီတိုင်းဆိုခေါင်းထိုးဖို့အတွက်ပြန်ကြည့်နေတာ Aura ခေါင်းတော့တိုးလာပြီး2-1နေထားတော့မှ TF Alpha ချက်3တိုင်းနဲ့ပဲဆက်ဆောက်တော့သွားတွေ့ရဗျာဒါလိုက်တော့ပြန် forward တော့ Frozen Freeze တွေအောက်မှာထောင်းချောက်ခဲပေးထားတော့ပဲအပေါ်မှာလည်း pressure တိုးနေတယ်လက်နဲ့ battery support ပြန်ပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေတဲ့အနေထား Megan Evolve နေနဲ့မဆိုင်လိုက်တာတော့ပိုကောင်းပါလိမ့်မယ်
အဓိကသူတို့တွေ first big လေးတော့ပေးချင်ကြတယ်တစ်ဖက်က body shot နဲ့ Billessy only man Guardian နဲ့ backline control မှာ 2 man pan နဲ့ breeze တွေအောက်မှာလျောက်မှုတောင်းလျှောက်လိုက်ဖြတ်ထားရတယ်ပဲ Megan Evolve အရန်တိုးလို့တော့မရသေးဘူးဗျာနောက်မှာတော့ Aura အနေနဲ့သူနောက်ပိုင်း full swing ပေးတဲ့ damage တွေရှိတာတယ် speed out alpha တွေရှိနေသေးတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ Sasha ကိုဖျက်ဖို့တော့မှလွယ်ကူတဲ့အခြေအနေတော့မဟုတ်တော့ဘူးဗျာ
တော့က join တွေ light dash တွေတစ်ပတ်ကလည်းကျွန်တော်ဒီ BFC နဲ့ safe တွေပိုင်းနေထားတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်တော့ KBG ဒီတစ်ခေါက်ကတော့ safe နေသေးတယ် Megan Evolve တွေလည်းကျွန်တော် defensive လုပ်တဲ့ဘိုင်းမှာ safe နေတယ်သူသဖြင့်ကျွန်တော်ဒီ front line လာပြီးတကယ်ကြောက်တုံးကြီးလို့မပေးနိုင်တဲ့မအောင်တကောင်ရရှိထားတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်တော့တော်တော်လေး safe ဖြစ်နေတယ်ပဲပြောပါမယ်ဗျာ Carry အနေနဲ့
ဒါပေမဲ့တကယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဓိကတော့ Jewel Dance တော့ပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ညာလည်းပဲတစ်ဖက်က Aura Breeze တွေ Glacier တွေပြီးရချိန်မှာ High Loss တွေလည်း Magical Defense ကကျွန်တော်တို့အရင်လွယ်ကူတဲ့အနေအထားမျိုးတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးဗျာတစ်ဖက်က2 fighter ပြည့်နေတယ် crowd control ရကျွန်တော်တို့ဒါ Sandstorm လောက်ကလွယ်ပြီးတော့ကျန်တဲ့ချိန်ပါမလာလို့ဆိုရဲအားနည်းချက်တစ်ခုကြောင့်ပဲ High ground အရင်တက်ဖို့တော့သိမလွယ်ဘူး Hater ရဲ့ early impact ကနေကျွန်တော်တို့ late game impact ရောက်ကြလာတဲ့ချက်တစ်ခုကိုလည်း Megan Evolve အနေနဲ့အခွင့်အရေးယူနိုင်မလားပေါ့ဒီပုံစံတိုင်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့သူတို့က turning point လေးပြန်ရနိုင်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပွဲရတော်တော်လေးတော့ညီမျှသွားဖို့ပဲရှိတယ်ဗျာ
။ဒါပေမဲ့ law တွေပါရတော့ပြန်တော့ကြည့်နေသေးတယ်။ထိုင်းမှုပဲသူတို့ plan ထားတဲ့ပုံစံတွေဗျာ
။ပါလာပြီ Unbreakable နဲ့ One Man Gap Soft Win နဲ့ backline ခင်းထားတဲ့ Glorious ပြီးတာခဲ့ damage အောက်မှာ backline control နဲ့ Sandstorm ပါလာခဲ့ damage တွေကြားမှာ Lassie တောင်းချောက်စာချ piece damage အောက်မှာတောင်းချောက်မပေးတော့ဘူးဗျာ Fisher နဲ့ တင်းလိုက် Breezy အောက်မှာတောက်ချောက်ပူဆွေးလာတယ်ဝင်းတော့တက်ပြန်သွားခဲ့တဲ့ damage တွေကြားမှာရှိနေတယ်သူက Matt တကောင်တင်ကြခဲ့တော့ညလည်းပဲနောက်တော့တပီ Tracy ပြန်ချခဲ့တဲ့ damage အောက်မှာ 3/1 saturation မှာ Marquinhos တောက်ချောက်ကန်ခံနေရတဲ့ body shot damage အောက်မှာ Sasha light dash ရင်းနဲ့ပဲ 2 for 2 trade ခဲ့တဲ့ batter တခုမှာဒီ low ရော keepers gaming ရာဝရောများနေလို့ချက်နေခဲ့ aura တကောင်လိုက်ပြီးတော့ dash နေခဲ့ damage အောက်မှာတော့ double kill ပိုင် Sasha forces man forces ပြန်ပြီးတော့ညလည်း body shot damage အောက်မှာ Yakosu တက်ပြီးတော့အဆုံးသတ်ရတယ်ဗျ 4 man down ခဲ့တယ်ချက်နေခဲ့နောက်တော့ Fission light dash နေခဲ့တဲ့ Sasha magical damage နဲ့ Valentina defend မို့တော့မတွေ့တော့ဘူးဗျာ
ပြုတ်တင်ပါပဲပြုတ်တင်ရတော့ကျန်းတယ်
တောင်းချောက်ကို KBG ထပ်မဲ့ပြီးတော့တက်လာခဲ့တယ်ဗျာသူတို့ဒီနောက်တစ်စစ်ကိုတက်လမ်းဖို့အတွက်တကယ်ကို plan နေခဲ့ပြီ fashion တကောင်နဲ့သွားပြီးရှိရတဲ့ဒါ from the breeze ပြန်ပြီးတော့ carry ထားတယ်တော့လာခဲ့တဲ့ back ကိုသုံးသပ်ပေးထားတယ်ပဲနောက်ဆုံး Chris ရဲ့ throw ဒီ keepers game အတွက်ပဲဖြစ်သွားခဲ့ပါတယ်ဗျာ
That's a match elimination in the best of 3 series here game number 2 ပါ KBG
အချတီနာတင်းနေကတော့
ဆောင်ထားနေပဲ
ဒီကနေပဲနှုတ်ဆက်ထွက်ခါတာရောပထမဆုံးတင်းနေ
championship ပြိုင်ပွဲကြီးကနေပထမဆုံးသောထွက်ခွာမဲ့အသင်းဒီလက်အမေရိကရဲ့ champion ကျွန်တော်တို့ Falcon Esports ပဲဖြစ်လို့သွားခဲ့ပြီဗျာ
တော့ကျွန်တော်ဆာဒီနောက်ဆုံး battle တွေပါ
Uzi best of 3
distribution မှာပေးခဲ့တာဗျာကျွန်တော်တခါတည်းဘာကင်ကျွန်တော်ဘာကိုလိုက်ချိန်ဖို့အတွက်တကယ်တော့ကျွန်တော်အဲ့နောက်မှာ Harry ကအရှေ့ထွက်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တစ်ဖက်ကရှိရင် overall တောက်ဖို့ကြိုးစားခဲ့တဲ့အရာတကူကနည်းနည်းအဆင်မပြေသွားဘူးအဲ့နောက်မှာကျွန်တော်ဒီ BLG ရှိနေရလဲပါတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဘိုက်တဲလိုမျိုးဖြစ်သွားတယ်
လုံးဝကျွန်တော်
Hello hello
ကျွန်တော်ဒီကနေ့အနေထားပြီးတော့ဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဘာမျိုး game 1နဲ့ဆက်လို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီ game 2ကပို့ပြီးတော့မြိုင်ဆိုင်တယ်ဆိုတဲ့ခံစားချက်မျိုးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ရလိုက်တယ်ပေါ့နော်အဓိကတော့ဒီကနေ့ကပြန်ပြီးတော့ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လဲ high loss တို့ဒီ Gato Chari ရဲ့တွဲလုံးလေးရှိတယ်ဒီချက်တစ်ခုမှလည်းစာရှာပပနဲ့ပဲသူ့နေတာစင်ကတာကပမ်လာခဲ့တဲ့အတင်းတင်းကို join နဲ့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ဖြည့်ရှင်းလာခဲ့တယ်ပေါ့နော်အဓိကတော့အယူသားဆုံးပြောရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်နှစ်သင်းချားထဲမှာတဦးချင်းစွမ်းရည်ပိုင်းအရဒါစွမ်းရည်ပိုင်းအရရောချိတ်ဆက်မှုတွေအရရောအများကြီးကွာမှုတွေရှိနေတယ်ဗျဒါကျွန်တော်တို့ညင်းလို့မရတဲ့အမှတ်တရားတစ်ခုပါပဲ
game winner ဆိုင်တော့ game number 2မှာ Falcon Esports ရဲ့အလုပ်တွေကျွန်တော်ပို့ပြီးတော့မြေတွေ့ရတော့အမှန်ပဲဗျာတကယ်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီလေကျွန်တော်ဒါအနိုင်ရရှိဖို့အတွက်အခွင့်အရေးလမ်းစာလေးတွေရှိခဲ့တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်ပို့ပြီးတော့ speakers တွေတည်ကြတယ်ပို့ပြီးတော့ပွဲတစ်ခုတော့ဘယ်လိုမျိုးထိန်းချောင်းဆုံးရမလဲဆိုတာ KBG ဘက်ကပို့ပြီးသဘောပေါက်နေတယ်လို့ခံစားရတယ်
လုံးဝတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒါ Falcon Esports အနေနဲ့ဒီသူတို့ရဲ့ပထမဆုံးသောနိုင်ငံတကာတွေ့ကြုံပထမဆုံးသောနိုင်ငံတကာပြိုင်ပွဲဖြစ်တဲ့ MCS World Championship မှာတော့နိုင်ပွဲလုံးဝမရခဲ့ပဲနဲ့ Best of 1 Series နှစ်ပွဲ Best of 3 Series တစ်ပွဲရှုံးနေခဲ့ပြီးတော့ထွက်ခွာခဲ့ရတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒါဘလို့မှတော့သူတို့အနေနဲ့အကောင်းဆုံးတော့ကျွန်တော်ကျွန်တော် appreciate လုပ်ရလိမ့်မယ်သူတို့ဒီဝေးကွာတဲ့ရက်တစ်ခုကလာခဲ့တယ်သူတို့ရဲ့
သူတို့ကြည့်ကြမယ် Falcon ပွဲကတော့လာတော့မယ်အခုဒီပွဲနောက်ပွဲကတော့ NIB Flash နဲ့ NIB Flash နဲ့ပါနဲ့လေ
ဒါ MCS World Championship ရဲ့နောက်တစ်ခါတစ်ခု Keepers Gaming အနေနဲ့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ဒါတန်သွားနေခဲ့ပါပြီ
ဟုတ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ကြာခင်ပါလေကျွန်တော် KBG ရဲ့ player တွေနဲ့ interview session လာအောင်ပဲပေါ့လေ
brother တို့
အဲ့တော့ရှင်းပါတော့
သူတို့ကြည့်ရမယ်လေ
KBG က Nelly ပို့ပြီးတော့ရေပန်းစား
NIB Flash ကအခု S2G နဲ့တွေ့မှာ
လာခဲ့တဲ့ပွဲတွေမှာ game plan ရအရင် change လုပ်ခဲ့တာမျိုးတော့မရှိဘူးသူတို့ဒီ Best of 1 Series နှစ်ပွဲလုံးဆော့ခဲ့တယ်ဒီတိုင်းပဲသွားတယ်
S2G နဲ့ NIB Flex တူရကီတင်းနဲ့စင်ကာပူတင်းနှစ်တင်းချမယ်ချပြီးတော့နိုင်သွားတဲ့
သူတို့လည်း
အပွဲပြီးသွားရင်တော့မြန်မာပွဲလာ
အင်အားလေးနဲ့သူတို့ရဲ့လေကင်းတိုင်မဲ့တခုကိုတည်ပြီးတော့ဆော့တဲ့ draft ကပဲသူတို့အကောင်းဆုံးဖြစ်နေတယ်အားလေးကင်းနဲ့ပန်းချလိုက်ပါတော့ဘလို့မှတည်ဆော့လို့မရအောင်ဖြစ်
နေ Game 2မှာဆော့ခဲ့တယ်လို့ Game 1ကဆော့ခဲ့ရင်တော့တမျိုးတစ်ပုံတော့ပြောင်းလဲသွားနိုင်တယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒီထိုးလူချိုးပဲတွေသူတို့အရှိမဒါ player တွေတုံးလို့ကြတဲ့ clash တွေကျွန်တော်ဒီ kite တွေပုံစံမျိုးတွေပေါ့ဗျာအဲ့လိုမျိုးသုံးနိုင် game တွေဆိုတော့အဆင်ပြေတယ် Game ဘတ်ဆို3ရဲ့ Game 1နဲ့တစ်ဖက်သက်ဆန်သွားတယ် Game 2မှာလည်းလေကျွန်တော်ဒါပြန်ပြီးတော့ fight after fight တွေမြင်တွေ့ရတယ်ထူးပြန်တွေ့ခဲ့ရတာဗျာ
ကဲအဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ဒါ best 3 series ရဲ့
Let's go
မကြိုက်ခင်မှာလာမယ်လို့တော့ထင်တယ်ဆိုတော့
ပါလေ
တကယ်ကျွန်တော်ပြန်ပြီးတော့ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း
မြန်မာတင်းကဒီနေ့နိုင်မှာချိန်ဒီမှာနိုင်
brother သွားပြီးတော့ကြည့်လိုက်ရအောင်ဗျာ
Cam Evolve for representing the Latin America in the M6 World Championship. They have also given us a glimpse of the Argentinian flair in the world stage. However, their journey has to end today. And guys, on a count of 3, I would like you guys to give a final bow. 3, 2, 1. Make Cam Evolve, everybody. Thank you very much. We hope to see you guys next year and we hope you guys can come back stronger. Thank you very much. And of course, it is time for the winner's interview. KBG officially securing their first win in the M6 World Championship. And we have Coach Webby with me from KBG. Hello, Coach. How are you? 你好。你好. All right. Okay. Let me move to the side a bit. Okay.
你好，你好。
Now, Coach, first of all, congratulations on securing your first ever win. I know it was a tough 2 days. It was an 0-2, and this is an elimination game. How are you feeling right now, knowing that KBG has another life and can play one more game?
首先恭喜你们赢下第一把，这也是中国队正赛赢的第一把。然后呢，想问一下你对KBG 整个队伍现在有什么心情？然后因为你们也可以挺进下一轮了嘛。
丢的。
I feel very excited and happy, and
英里度撇啊。
我觉得还是比较兴奋跟开心的。因为我们前2轮的对手都实在是足够强大，所以今天也很开心能够让中国赛区拿下就是正赛的第一个大场胜利。
We are so excited and happy because the first 2 rounds of our opponents, they are too strong, and today we're facing this team McCann Evolve, and we can win the first victory for the CN region. We are so proud of ourselves, and we are so proud of our teammates.
All right, Coach. Now, I have a next question. We know that after losing 2 days in a row, it is very hard on the mental state of the players as well as yourself. Now, what was the key points you guys actually worked on to improve to ensure a win today in the elimination round?
我们也知道前2把也输了嘛，然后呢，在进到今天的比赛之前，队伍做出最主要的调整是什么？
我们最主要调整是我们调整了下，就是我们整体的选人策略，还有就是保持好足够好的心态吧。因为我觉得我们队伍是一直是很有实力的，只是我们现在需要赢一场，我们需要足够的信心，然后去进行到下一轮。
The primary improvement of ourselves is draft strategy, and we think we need a victory to accumulate our confidence because we believe ourselves and we think we are a really good team, but we just need a victory to prove that.
Now, I agree. A victory does help the morale of the entire team. Coach, after today's win, do you feel more confident with your upcoming matches?
经过今天的对阵，你对之后的对阵更有信心了吗？
对的，就是我们有足够的信心面对下一轮的对手。
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I can see that. Coach definitely does sound more confident. Now, Coach, final question. Year after year, we can see that the China team is actually giving very tremendous improvement in terms of play style. Now, compared to last year wildcard, the difference is really, really crazy. In your opinion, how long more does the China region need to actually step it up and, be one of the powerhouses?
其实这1年来中国战队的进步也很明显，跟 M5的外卡比，现在中国战队甚至能在正赛拿下一场胜利了。然后你觉得中国队进步的最大的原因是什么？以及中国队需要多久才能成为最有实力的赛区？
我觉得我们进步最大的就是原因是我们足够的努力，然后我们也付出了很多的时间在这个游戏上面。我觉得明年我觉得我们就可以往前3名去冲刺了。
I think the biggest reason for the tremendous progress of CN region is we pay sweat and blood in this game. We work really hard. We spend a lot of time on this, and I think if give us enough time, we can to step to the top 3 in the next year.
Wow, in 1 year, and I agree. Blood, sweat, and tears does play a huge role in improving. Thank you very much to Coach Webby, and congratulations on your win. You guys live to see another round in the M6 World Championship. And with that, let's head back to the panel to break down this elimination match. Panels, take it away.
regional champion တသင်းကတော့အစောဆုံးပဲ M6 World Championship ပြိုင်ပွဲခီးလန်းကနေထွက်ခွာခဲ့ရတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ American Evolve အနေနဲ့နောက်နှစ်မှာလည်းသူတို့ရဲ့ပုံမကောင်းမှုနဲ့လက်ဆွဲပိုင်းတွေပုံမကောင်းမှုနဲ့စုဖွဲ့မှုတွေเนาะပြန်လည်ပြီးတော့ပြတ်သားနိုင်ပါစေလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေရာကနေပဲဆုတောင်းပေးလိုက်ပါတယ်
NIB Flash နဲ့
ပြန်လာနိုင်ပါစေလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့
S2G ပွဲလေးကြည့်အောင်ဟော
ပွဲလေးလည်းပြီးသွားပြီကျွန်တော်ပြောလို့ရှိရင် Best-of-3 ကျွန်တော် Decider Match ဒီကျွန်တော် Elimination ဖြစ်တယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ Game 3လောက်ထိသွားမယ်လို့မျှော်လင့်ထားပေမဲ့2နည်းနဲ့ပဲပြတ်သွားတယ်တကယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ3 identity တွေ3ရဲ့လက်ဆွဲအမှန်တွေကျွန်တော်ဒါပေါ်ထွက်လာခဲ့ပွဲတွေတခုပေါ့ဗျာ KBG ရဲ့Falcon Esports ဗျ
အဒီကတော့အင်အားကြီးတဲ့ဒေတာအဲ့လိုချန်ပီယံသင်းတွေနဲ့တွားပြီးတွေ့မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အတူတူကိုနည်းနည်းများတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ခက်ခဲမှုတွေကတော့အများကြီးရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့မနေ့က Team Spirit တွေပါလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သူတို့အနေနဲ့နည်းနည်းလေးတော့အဆင်မပြေဖြစ်ခဲ့တာမျိုးတွေတွေ့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့ဒီနေ့မှလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့ပွဲကောင်းနေပါတယ်သူတို့မနက်ဖြန်ဒါသူတို့ပြန်ကစားဖို့ရှိတယ်ဗျ okay အဲ့တော့ Best of 3 Series ရဲ့ Game number 2 Post Match Test လေးကျွန်တော်တို့တွားပြီးကြည့်လိုက်ရအောင်ဆိုတော့Megan Evolve နေတဲ့ goal line မှာသူတို့ဒီနောက်အရာတော့ 10.1 kilo ထိတော့ရောက်တယ်ဗျဒါပေမဲ့တစ်ဖက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့ BLC ကိုတွားပြီးကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ 11.8 kilo ထိကိုရောက်ရှိခဲ့တဲ့အနေအထားမျိုးတော့တွားတွေ့ရတယ် 1.7k goal lead တခုကွာဟနေခဲ့တဲ့ခိုက်တဲ့မှာတော့ itemization ကကျွန်တော်တို့ item ချောင်းဆောင်ဒီဘောလောက်ထိတော့ကွာမှုတွေရှိခဲ့တယ်ဗျဆိုတော့လေကင်းဒီပွဲမှာလည်းလေကင်းရရောက်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ Jira test နဲ့ဒီ damage တွဲလို့နေရတယ်နည်းနည်းပို့ပြီးတော့အဆင်ပြေလိမ့်မယ်ဂိမ်းနံပါတ်1တော့လောက်ပဲနောက်ထပ်9မိနစ်လောက်အချိန်ရခဲ့လိမ့်ရင်ဆိုတဲ့အရာတခုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မှာရှိတယ်ပေါ့လေဟေရာတို့ရဲ့ခါလီတို့ရဲ့နည်းနည်းရောချသွားမယ်အချိန်မှာတော့အခွင့်အရေးပြန်ရလာနိုင်မယ်လို့တော့ထင်ခဲ့တာပဲ
ပြောရရင်ကျွန်တော်ဒီ Harry နောက်ဆုံး last item ပြီးသွားရင်တော့ဖြစ်လာနိုင်တယ်ပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်6ခွက်ချင်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင် Bruno အဆုံးသတ်ပေးလို့ရတယ် Bruno ဒီကျွန်တော်ဒီဘက်မှာဒါ Rose Woman ကြီးရတပေါက်သွားလိုက်တဲ့နောက်ဆုံးဒီ item တခုကခုနကလိုမျိုးနောက်ဆုံးဖြစ်သွားတဲ့ 1v1 ဘက်ထဲမှာသူတာသီးရသွားတယ်ပဲပြောရမယ်
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဘာမှသိပြီးတော့လုပ်ခွင့်တော့မရတော့ဘူးဗျအဓိကကတော့တစ်ဖက်ကအဲ့လိုမျိုး Air for full swing လို့ speed of air for ပြီးသွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာတစ်ဖက်ကဒီဗတ်တဲ့ company ဗတ်တဲ့ area control ဘာအရာ Leon Move ရဲ့ aura တော်တော်လေးအားကောင်းခဲ့ဗျဒီ aura ဗတ်တဲ့ channel ဘက်တော်တော်များများကျွန်တော်တို့အများကြီးအလှည့်ပြောင်းဖြစ်သွားစေလို့ပြောရမယ်ပေါ့နော်တစ်ဖက်ကလည်း Valentina အနေနဲ့ဒီ Fission သူသွားပြီးတော့အဲ့လိုမျိုး Glacier လေးပါလေးပြန်ပေးဖို့ကြိုးစားခဲ့ဆိုပေမဲ့ဒီကြားထဲကျွန်တော်တို့အတုဟာအစ်စ်လောက်တော့ကောင်းမှာတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးဒါတခါစီမှာတော့ပို့ပြီးတော့နည်းနည်း Spikers နဲ့မြန်လို့ရှိရင်တော့အဆင်ပြေတာမျိုးလေးရှိရဆိုပေမဲ့ Aura ရဲ့ Breeze တွေဒီကြားတွေကတစ်ဖက်က Handloss တို့ Gato Gacha တို့ Alpha တို့အရန်တိုးလာတဲ့အချိန်ဒီမှာတားဆီးဖို့အတွက်တကယ်ကိုတိကျတဲ့အဖြစ်တစ်ခုတော့ဖြစ်ခဲ့တယ်ဗျာအဲ့တော့ backline တွေက Bruno တို့ဒီ Joan တို့ကတော်တော်လေး comfort ဖြစ်ခဲ့ပြီးတော့ဒါသူတို့drive ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းကျွန်တော်တို့ဒါ Sasha ပေါ့နော်သူရဲ့သူ့ချစ်သူလည်းဖြစ်သွားခဲ့တဲ့ပွဲလို့တော့ပြောရမယ်
ဒီပွဲမှာလေကျွန်တော် Aura 3កောက်လောက်ထိပဲဖြစ်သွားနိုင်တယ်ပေါ့နော် Fashion ကလည်းကျွန်တော်ဒီ IM နဲ့ခိုးပြီးသွားရင် Aura ဖြစ်သွားနိုင်လို့အောက်က Alpha ဒီလေသူ့ရဲ့နာမည်က Aura ပဲဆိုတော့ဒါဒီပွဲကျွန်တော် fan လေးတွေပေါ့ဗျာ Aura နဲ့တော့တောက်လျှောက်တွေ့နေရပြီဟလားဒါမှမပြီးတဲ့ဘိုင်းကြီးက9000ကျော်အိုးလက်အောက်8000ကျော်ထိပဲရှိခဲ့ရဗျာအားလီမာလည်းသူ့ရဲ့
whoa စွမ်းနေပြတယ်စွမ်းနေပြမတော့မောင်းနေရဲ့ဖက်နှက်ကိုရှိုးတော့မောင်းနေရဲ့ဖက်နှက်ကမှလေးလက်3လက်မလောက်ထူတဲ့အိုင်နေမှာအော်ဒီနေ့ကတော့ဒီမှာတကယ်ဟိုကာ girls ပေါ့နော်ကာ girls ဘယ်စကီးပြနေပါတယ်လို့တော့တကယ်ပန်းအောင် crazy နဲ့ပန်းအောင်ကလာ theme နဲ့အပြည့်စင်တာရှိပါတက်ဆိုးမှလည်းပန်းအောင်နေကြီးပဲအပွင့်နေတယ်သူအပြည့်စင်တာလည်းစကီးတွေပြတယ်ဟိုနည်းနည်းတန်တူလိုက်ပါနော်တူလိုက်နာမည်ဘယ်လိုခေါ်Simon XIM ဝင်ဟို SIM ဝင်တော့မဟုတ်တော့ဒီနေ့ကားလိုက်စီးရဖြစ်ပါတယ်လို့မကော်ဖီလေးတောက်ပြီးတော့မလေးကားမောင်ရေးစကားပြောလို့ရလားရတော့ပြင်းတော့ပြင်းဒီမှာကားကြီးကျက်နေတော့ဝိနေလေလားကားမောင်ကဘယ်လောက်ကြာလဲတလားကားမောင်တလားပဲကြီးနေတယ်မလေးစကေးပြမိဘစိတ်တော့မအောင်မရပါတယ်မောင်ပြီးသားရှိအတက်ကဘယ်လောက်ပြောရလဲ20ပါ20နဲ့စကေးပြနော်ကျွန်တော်ပဲအသက်ကြီးလာတာမသိဘူးကျွန်တော်လည်းအခုနောက်ပိုင်းတွေ့ရလူတွေမှအများငယ်အများကြီးနေအခုတော့တက်ဘယ်လောက်တင်25နည်းနည်းတော့ကြီးလိုက်ပါအဲ့ဒါဇက်ကွန်အလုံးလုံးဇက်ကွန်ဟုတ်ပြီပြီးဘုရားစားကြပဲနော်ဒီဖက်နဲ့မောင်းတာဖက်နဲ့ချုပ်ပြီးတော့မောင်းတာလေဒီမှာတိတ်ပြီးတော့ဟိုလက်ကြီးနဲ့မောင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဆိုလည်းအဲ့ဆိုင်ငယ်ဖက်နဲ့ကြီးဝှက်ပြီးတော့ကားစမောင်းသွားဆိုတာတော်တော် sensation တော်တော်ကြောက်ဆိုင်ငယ်ဖက်နဲ့ကြီးရထူးတော်တော်ကြောက်တယ်မဲ့လူကမောင်းနေချင်းတယ်တော့ဖက်နဲ့ကြီးနဲ့မောင်းပြီးမောင်းတာလည်းတစ်လပဲရှိတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျောင်းပါကြီးဒီရောက်တကယ်ဆောက်20နဲ့ဟိုကောင်းခုနကမောင်းနေကြပုံစံပါလေဒါကင်မရာရိုက်နေလို့ဒါနည်းနည်းလုတ်ပြလားဒါမဟုတ်ပုံမှန်လည်းလုပ်မှာပါပုံမှန်လို့ပဲအဲ့လိုမောင်းနေတယ်နည်းနည်းမြင်နေဘူးလားအဲ့လိုမူဘူးလားနည်းနည်းတော့ပူဆွေးဆုံးပါဟုတ်လားအဲ့လိုတော့ပူဆုံးပါနည်း mà cái mà nó bên đi cắt hà là tôi lúc mà bắt mà này nó siêu lấy bỏ và bán dầu thì bắt được mà để bán dầu xe về đã bà cũng bảo là xe nào
cũng cái sao rồi
hôm nay là cho quay gì đây là nấu mà để lúc mà bán dầu khen này này rồi là xe nào là chất số chất chẳng rồi nấu mà xe này bà để lúc mũ bán bà rồi hoa ít chút liền
để bớt tuổi vậy đã
mà lại vấn đề đó ông bà bán dầu này đó PC này bán dầu này về so đi cả lại bên này bên mà nó bán dầu này rồi nhiều đấy mà tụi cái này bây giờ là bán dầu mà đi bán dầu khu vực này là bán dầu pink lady nó pink lady on fair lady cái mà đã bị bộ quý đi bé mà ai lý chế ha chôn yếu tất ha bé idea ya
cái đó bán quỷ này thế nào bán quỷ mới ra được
bán quỷ
đi đâu này bây giờ bây giờ cái
ok
bán hàng mua cái gì đấy nó nấu cái gì
Meli công mà mà chỉ có bán quỷ này cắt à cô cá bà cô đã luôn ai vậy bộ bé ai vậy
mi ti lấy thế này mi ti ở đây bao nhiêu
ông Meli
đây bao nhiêu cái sao mai sầu riêng này cũng là thà chị
nấu khá một cái gì bây giờ à bây giờ cái mà nó bán dầu này vậy rồi lại xí lên rồi nếu bù bây giờ chúng ta thấy nhiều mà chỉ là mà xí ra rồi à tế bù xí ra là tế bù so đã tụi béo đã bù xí đến xí rồi
em phải gọi lại mà nó nhiều
rồi em tung người nấu rồi tôi dream cả vendor lúc biểu vậy vendor bán dầu mà rồi nhưng mà mình xí tôi là pop up đi chơi đấy này, Miara đi, Miara mình đi không?
Miara đi luôn thà đi chơi.
Nhưng mà Miara đâu Miara đi, mà MX5 về gì à?
Miara mình đi à?
Rồi cái gì à, rồi phiền nhau. Tôi outfit của người gì, tôi bán hàng này phiền nhau. Tôi outfit cái bán hàng này phiền nhau, cái này tôi dán lại hàng tôi mà lâu thà rồi nó. Đấy, lúc đi bay đi luôn là bán hàng mua lại đấy. Đúng rồi chứ đúng mà tế bào này đấy chứ lúc mà chạy ra mà Azo tế bào lý bảo Azo này thì sao tôi biết lâu mà nó
nó cứ lâu mà về đâu ra đâu thì làm sao hả camera cái này
Azo mà đi mà lẽ nào được mà chỉ đánh quá mà kia này hậu mà tôi sticker là bôi đi cả đánh quá tên mình chịu thế này hả? Mà sticker này nó cũng cần à, xe về. Rồi là nấu xe phiền để biểu nó, tôi cá máu này à rồi, cá máu này mà nó bây giờ lấy nấu xe phiền nó bây giờ cái gì đấy, phải biết toán này này. Premium mà. Mà tôi quay ba điều đấy tôi mà chỉ bay hảo ha. Quay ba điều bay hảo đi cả luôn à, intense nè. Di mana le dia stiker di bayar change dia lu sai dah block change lah ya le ada biji
他这样的话是不是？我东拉到都上了呀。
懂了idea dia aku senai idea dia dah be belum yang le belum sharp lai le bo be ni ma ba ka me ba
Pinterest ကလည်းယူတယ် TikTok ကတော်တော်များများစီရတယ် idea ယူရတယ်ပြီးတော့ American ကလည်းဝင်ရတဲ့ page တစ်ရှိပြီးအဲ့ဒီကလည်း inspire ယူပြီးတော့ဒီကပြန်လုပ်တာပေါ့
အဆင်ပြေလားဒီကိုင်းနဲ့အဲ့လိုမျိုးလေးကိုရှောက်သွားပြီးတော့မောင်းနေရန်တော့ကြာ
dream car လေးနဲ့ဖြစ်တော့
အော်ဖိလီပဲကောင်းမှာဘာလို့ဆိုဒီဥပဒေကျွန်တော်ဟိုဘန်ကောက်ပြန်လာအသိကြသေးတော့နည်းနည်းကားတွေကဘန်ကောက်မှာဈေးပေါ်ဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာဈေးကြီးတယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီဖိလီဒီကိုကျတော့ဘန်ကောက်ကဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံဖိလီဒီကားဈေးကပိုတက်တာမယ်ဘန်ကောက်မှာဖိလီဒီကားဈေးကဈေးပိုကြီးတယ်ဆိုတော့အမှဒီမှာအဲ့လိုမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာနေရကန်ကောင်းသွားတော့လားဒီပဲဖြစ်သွားတာတွေ့ရဘာလို့ဆိုင်ကယ်ကြီးဆိုရင်လည်းထိုင်းမှာဆောင်းအသေးသေးကြီးရယ်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာနည်းနည်းဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲအစင်ပြေးဈေးနဲ့စီးလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါမှဈေးကျတော့ပြန်ကားလဲလို့ပဲဆိုတော့အဲ့လိုမျိုးဆိုတော့အားလုံးနည်းနည်းဒီမှာအတွေ့အကြုံနည်းနည်းတကူအဲ့လိုဝေသွားပါပေါ့နော် 吹一吹，弄啊，得了吧，希望嘛，就这的，အမြဲဆုံးဘယ်လောက်မောင်းဘူးလဲ
180တိုင်ခွဲအောက်ကြီးကျော်
ဘယ်နာကတော့မောင်းလား
လမ်းမှာပဲ highway လမ်းမှာ
အဲ့ဒါမှ
မြင်းနဲ့ပန်းခဲ့
အခုဟာဒါတွေကပြောပြီးတင်ပါတော့တင်လို့ရှိရင်ဒါအင်္ဂါတင်အစီပြေလား
အီးလည်းပါတယ်လေအမေလည်းပါတာ
ဟော
အမေလည်းပါတယ်ကိုပန်းခဲ့ရရင်အမေရှင်းပြီးတယ်
ဟောတော်တရားဟောအဲ့ဆိုရင်တော့ဒါတီဗီသားကိစ္စရဒါပြီးတင်ပါနော်
တင်ပါဗျာတင်ပါ
မတင်ရင်တော့ပြပါမယ်အစီပြေပြေပေါ့
အဖက်လေးထည့်ပြီးတင်
ဟာလားအခုတော့တော်လာနေတာအခုတော့တော်လာမှာလာမှာဂျပန်နဲ့မေးကြိုက်တာလားဟုတ်ပါကြည့်ပြတယ်အားကြောင့်မို့သွားလူတွေလောက်ထားတာမဒီလူတွေဒါပေးတော့နော်
မိုက်ပါတယ်ချင်နေလွဲနေတာမဟုတ်ခဲ့ဘူးလား
မနက်6:15လောက်မှာတူကြောင်လေးပူတာဟောရောက်ရှိလို့ရပါပြီ။ဒါကတော့ဟိုဘက်ချမ်းနေရထား
ဖေးဟိုပွဲလာတော့မလား10 မိနစ်လောက်တော့လိုရအေးစေးပေါ့
ရတယ်တီရီအငိမ့်ငယ်
တွေ့နေတာမဟုတ်ခဲ့ဘူးလားဒီပေါင်းနဲ့မန်စီးတီးပွဲရှိရလားဒီပေါင်းနဲ့မန်စီးတီးပွဲလည်းရှိရလားဒီနေ့ကခဏလေးတော့ဖုန်းမမှာတွားကြည့်လိုက်နေ့ပြန်မှာပါနေ့ပြန်လီဗာပူးမန်စီးတီး
So I gotta ask the question over to FNOP as well, you know, especially after Aurora lost 0-2. So you guys are 2-0, but there's, you know, another MPLP team is going 0-2. What do you think is the problem with Aurora?
I think the BO1 thing has a huge impact.
Meaning?
Yeah, same for me.
Best of one. They're struggling with the best of one.
So okay, I've asked every player, and every player has said they don't like the best of one. Do you also do you like the best of one or no?
For us, it's good because we get 2-0.
So you like the best of one so far?
Yeah, so far.
You two friends, or do you still not like the best of one?
I like it. I don't like it, but I enjoy it.
Does the pressure get to you? Because you guys are like, this is your first real international, right? So does it actually get to you, the pressure, playing on stage in the world stage here for the first time ever?
Brusco said no.
Yeah, Brusco said no.
So
but
what about you?
Kirk and Super Friends?
No.
You too? Okay, what's the secret? What's the secret? Like, because I know a lot of other players, when it's their first international tournament, they always get jitters, you know? What's the secret to like Filipinos? For some reason, you guys just, it doesn't matter. First international, no problem.
Parang naglalaro lang kami ng sa MPLPH and
They said it's like they're playing in MPLPH. It's the same for them. Bakit ganon? Like, bakit parang naglalaro lang kayo sa MPLPH? Hindi nyo na lang iniisip na nasa international na kayo para hindi kayo ma-pressure ganon?
kasi parang mas malakas yung mga sa PH katulad ng Bren tsaka Team Liquid.
So, because I asked, like, why do you guys feel like you guys are playing an MPL page. This is a mindset you guys put for yourself, so it doesn't pressure you guys out too much on the main stage. And he said yes, because in the Philippines as well, they are they are going up against like world champions like TLPH and FCAP. So they said that they have the same mentality. Philippines is strong. It's strong here, so they feel as if they're playing back at home.
So, the next match will be the final team in 2-0, right? RQ or TS? What's your prediction, RQ and TS?
RQ ပဲပေါ့
RQ.
Okay, do you also want to meet them tomorrow? Do you hope the draw will be RQ, or do you hope the draw will be something else and you get to meet RQ later in the knockouts?
I think RQ because we want our revenge in ESL.
SPS revenge. You too, friend?
Yes, မှာရှုံးတာလို့
Twisted minds.
Okay, so it's the opposite. What's RQ? What's
They beat strong teams.
out of the teams in the teams that are not in 2-0? Who do you guys think people should be watching?
I think the Falcon.
ဟမ်ဘာပြောရ
Opposite. What's RQ? What's
They beat strong teams.
out of the teams in the teams that are not in 2-0? Who do you guys think people should be watching?
လူတွေကဘယ်တင်းကိုစောင့်ကြည့်နေလဲပေါ့အဲ့ဒီရဲ့ထူးဖို့မဖြစ်တဲ့အတင်းထဲမှာ
I think the Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah. Falcon.
You too?
Estuji.
Estuji?
Stava.
Turkey, right?
Turkey. Okay.
All right, there you go. Okay.
ကဲဖဲကိုပွဲလေးလာတော့မယ်ဖဲကိုပွဲလေးလာတော့မယ်
လုံးမချီးရမဆိုင်ဘူးမင်းအချိန်မရတော့မဆိုင်လားဆိုင်လေးဘက်ကို maximum height ကိုငါတို့ကတင်ပေးဖို့လိုတယ်လေဒီ
ခုံလေးအဲ့ဆိုမင်းခုခုံလေးလီးကိုမတည့်ရနေတာလား
အဲ့ကိုကဆင့်လိုက်
ဆင်းရမလို့ဘူးမေအဲ့ဒါဗာလဲဟောဗာလဲဒီလေးနဲ့စပိတ်လေးနဲ့သွားတယ်မလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဩစပတ်
စစ်ဘရိုတဲ့ချီးပါလားပြောပြပါလားတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့လိုဆောင်းဝိုင်းချောတဲ့ကောင်တွေကချီးမပါဘူး
ဘာလို့မလားစားနေတယ်လီးမလား
မခွာမပြောင်းနဲ့ဟဲ့
အော်ရတဲ့ခါလေးပေါ်လိုက်တန်းနေရပါဟေ့ပေါ်လိုက်တန်းနေရပါဟေ့
ဒီလိုပဲယူပြောပါလေမနေ့ကမရဘူးမရဘူးလေယူပါယူမရဘူးဘယ်ရွေးစားပြောင်းမ
ဘယ်ကောင်များပြော
တမင်းတစ်စက္ကန့်ကျော်တယ်ဟာ
အော်ငါများပါလား
အဘီပြောတယ်
ဟာဘယ်ကောင်များနေရလဲလို့
ဖြတ်ပြေးလိုက်အကောင်းဆုံးဘာလဲသိလားဟိုဘဝတိဖြတ်ပြေးသွားတယ်အဲ့အလုံးဝပဲမနေနဲ့ဖြတ်ပြေးသွားလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ရပါပြီ
Let's go Yes Yes
တော့ဒါပေါ့
အာကောအလုံးမဆိုင်လေ
မတော်နဲ့အေးဟုတ်ပြီ
အစီတဲ့
ဖဲကြအောင်လေအောက်ကလူဖဲကြအောင်လေတိုးချမျိုးတိုးချမျိုး
တိုးချပေးပါလေ
โอเคဟောသူကဘယ်လိုလာမလဲတယောက်ကဘယ်လို
တိုက်လေလေ
တရားပဲ
ဟိုတယောက်ပဲသွားလေဟိုဘက်ကိုဘလို့ဖဲလို့တယောက်သွားလင်မယားနှစ်ယောက်ဟိုသွား
ဒီမဟုတ်
နောက်ဆုံးတစ်ယောက်ကဘယ်လိုတက်လဲမသိ
အဲ့လိုရတယ်
ဘယ်လိုတက်ပါ
စပိတ်တယ်ဆိုရတယ်စပိတ်တယ်ဆိုရတယ်ကို
တယောက်စင်းခဲ့ပါအောင်လို့
ဘူးစပိတ်တယ်ဘလူးတော့ဒါမှနောက်နေ့မှရောက်
မရဘူးဒီမှာကြည့်
ဒါကြောင့်တက်လာတော့မေးပါမလား
မဟုတ်ဘူးလေငါကြံခဲ့တယ်လို့
ဟာရတယ်လို့ဘူးလို့တယောက်တည်းတက်လို့ရတယ်
မဟုတ်ဘူးလေငါအပေါ်မှာကြံခဲ့ရလေ
ချင်းနေ
တက်လို့ရရနော်အဲ့ပေါ့ရတယ်ငါကြောက်တက်သွားတာ
ဟာပဲ Let's go
ဘလူးဖြစ်တာဟာ
ဆိုရဆွဲမှာအရင်တော့
ဒိုးခွက်လက်တွေမပါလို့ထင်တယ်ကွာ
ဥမာရဲရင်တော့စုံပြီးတော့
လောက်
အော်ဘော
ညာဘက်ကိုဖမ်းရပါဖမ်းပြီးတောက်လျှောက်ဟိုလောက်ရပါ
မဟုတ်လေမဟုတ်လေ
တဲ့ဂျိုး
မဟုတ်မင်းတို့မဟုတ်ဘူးခဏလေညီညီကမစီးတတ်ဘူးလားအေးအဲ့လိုမစီးရမဟုတ်သွားဟောမသွားဟောမတော့ဟာဟောဟုတ်ဘူးလည်းတူမရမယ်ဟုတ်တယ်တူမရဟုတ်မေးတူမရ
မဆွဲချတယ်
ဟုတ်မေရတူမေရရှိလို့မရဘူးမေရတူ
ရှိမဟုတ်လားမေရရှိမဟုတ်လား
မေရရှိလို့မရဘူးလို့နောက်ဆိုကြ
မင်းနေရနောက်သွားလားကြာမင်းနေရနောက်လောက်ကိုသွားပြီးမ
အဲ့ဒါမမေတားလေးပြတရားပဲနေ
ခရင်ရောက်ဖဲခရင်ရောက်ဖဲ
ငါလုံးဝချီးကောင်
ဟောအဲ့လိုစတဲ့ကြီးမတိုက်နဲ့လို့မ
အဲ့တော့တိုင်းမတဲ့လို့ဒီလိုတိုင်းမှာ
ဒါမဟုတ်လေတိုင်မင်းချိန်နေလေကွာ
ပြတ်တနာပဲ
ခွက်လည်းဒီမပါလို့ထင်နေကွာ
ဥမာရဲရင်တော့စိုးပြီးတော့
ချိန်နေလို့
ကိုချိမနေတဲ့ချိန်ကိုချိမနေတဲ့ချိန်တဲ့တို့
အလုံးမချီးရမဆိုင်ဘူးမင်းအချိန်မရတော့မဆိုင်လား
My foot oh my sorry so my strong so my oh like you I can't even raise
မေခေါ်တော်လေအချိန်မရတော်လေဟာ
ဒီဖက်နေတဲ့ချိန်ရနေရရက်နေပြီရက်နေပြီမ
ပိုချိန်မရမှာလေ
ဟုတ်ဒီဖက်ကိုရက်ရက်နေပြီမဟုတ်ဘူးနည်းနည်း AD နဲ့လိုက်ခုံ
တဲ့
ဟာ
အားရမဟုတ်လေအဲ့ဒါကျတော့ကျွန်တော်စီတက်မရဘူးပြည့်တာ
ဟာ
ဟုတ်ခုံလို့မရတော့ဘောလုံးကငါခေါင်းမှာအတိရောက်လာတာ
မစ္စတိုလိုက်ပေါ့ ABC ရဲ့အဲ့လောက်ကြီးညံမကောင်းလား
ဟုတ်လေကြောက်ပေါ့
ကွက်တီပဲငါဘက်ကခုံနေတာဟုတ်ကဲ့နည်းနည်းထက်ရှိတယ်နည်းနည်းထက်ရှိတယ်မြင်ရဖို့လိုတယ်သိလားရှင်းပြီဆိုင်လေးဘက်ကို maximum height ကိုငါတို့ကတင်ပေးဖို့လိုတယ်ဒီ
ခေါင်းလေးဆိုရင်ခုခေါင်းလေးလီးကိုမတည့်ရနေရလား
ဘောလုံးလေးကိုခုံလိုက်အေးကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်လို့ပြီးသေးဘူးလား
ဟာရကောင်းတယ် what the fuck အဲ့လိုမိတာအေးဟာဒီပေါ်တာတော့ရှိနေပြီ
ကဲတော့ပိတ်တာပဲကိုနာက
ကြိုက်လို့ပါပဲ thank you thank you
နေကြတာရှင်းလားဂျိုးချင်းနဲ့ဝင်ရမြင်လားဘယ်ကြီးတဲ့မမဝင်မယ်လုံးပြမဟုတ်ဘူးမမဝင်လို့မရသေးဘူးရိုင်းနေကြလုံးပြပါလားလုံးမဟုတ်ဂျိုးကပြမကြည့်မလား
လို့ပါပါပြီ
တကယ်ပြမှာလားကဲကြည့်မှာလုံးလို့လည်းမရ
စပိန်နေရ
မခုံနဲ့ gravity ပြောင်းပြန်ခုံနဲ့ပေါ်တော့မနေနဲ့တော့ဟာအဲ့တော့ဟာသားရေးမနေနဲ့လို့
မင်းတို့လေကွာ
ဟိုဘက်ခုံဟိုဘက်မဟုတ်လေ
ခုံနဲ့ကလုံးနဲ့
ခုံရအပေါ်ပြတ်သွားပါ
သွားလေ
မတက်နဲ့မပေါက်နဲ့ကိုယ့်ကိုတိတ်เสียရှိရကိုယ့်နဲ့လေးရောက်မှကိုယ့်နဲ့စော
နေ
မတော်နဲ့
ကဲ
အကိစ္စဘယ်လိုလုပ်
အဲ့ကိုကဆင့်လိုက်
ရှင်းရမလို့ဘူးပဲအဲ့ဒါပါလေဟောပါလေဒီလေးနဲ့စပိတ်လေးနဲ့သွားတယ်မလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဩစပတ်ဒီလေးနဲ့စပိတ်လေးနဲ့သွားတယ်မလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဩစပတ်
ABC ကလပ်ကြိုက်တယ်ဆို ABC
အခုနောက်မှလည်းဒီလေးလေးပဲတည်နေလိုက်တော့တော်တော့
ဟာ ABC ဘာလာတော့ညာ ABC နားတော့ညာပြီးတယ်
ABC ကဖီနာဟော
ဒီနာထောင်လေးတွေရမယ်ဒီနာထောင်လေးတွေ
မဲကြီးကောင်မေးလို့
ဟိတ်ဆိုင်လိုက်တာဟဲ့
ဟာဘိုင်အမဲမတင်ဘူးလားအမဲမတင်ဘူး
ကဲခဏမှကြည့်ပဲပွဲလေးလာနေတယ်ပွဲ
ABC ကလပ်ကြိုက်တယ်ဆို ABC
ပွဲလာနေပြီထင်တယ်ပွဲ M6 နော်ကြည့်ရမယ်ဒီပွဲတွေကတော့
But like for NIP Flash, it's just unbelievable to see them in this kind of like state. It's a huge development if you've known this team for quite some time.
Let's go.
I mean, could you believe that we'd actually say Diablo has only played the high lows for the past 2 games?
ဒီမှာတင်ပွဲတော့နောက်ပွဲမှာလေ
Wow.
I mean,
okay, don't close up my face. My face is showing. You know what? Just keep me on wide shot. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, that's the point. Even interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, people keep saying I'm a bad EXP laner, blah blah blah. But he's great tracks.
Stop. Stop. Trex.
I think, I mean, yes, NIP Flash on the rise right now. They had a rough day one. Now they're on the come up. They take a game. They have a chance to shoot up to the top side of Swiss stage. But S2G has taken down one of the favorites, taken down SRG. They went up to the top. Got beat by none other than BTK. But still, Turkey's been a region that has never seems to not surprise us, right? Never seems to not, take games off big teams. Never seems to not be able to, pull off a win when we least expect it. So I definitely can't count them out here.
Yeah, now we actually have a full game right here. We're gonna listen to the quote. Still with the Zoom, man. We're gonna look at the quote coming in from the coach of Coach Zarate on the power of unpredictability. So we have to see what he has to say here. The coach coming in from NIP Flash. I believe that in the best of one, we definitely have a psychological advantage. Opponents facing us have no idea what heroes we're planning to pick or what the strategies will adopt. They might even overthink, assuming there are plenty of surprises in store. It becomes a matter of preference for them, which cheese strat do they want to deal with. But at the end of the day, we can dictate the direction. We can choose not to cheese anyway. Because of our flexibility, we definitely have an advantage. And I feel like, yeah, that's a big thing. It's like saying I have this in the back foot every single time. You're the one that has to think about what would happen if it comes out, and I get to choose whether I'm going to bring it out or not.
Yep. I think it worked wonders for them, especially going up against the teams who aren't really used to this best of one setup. And we've seen it in action even just yesterday. Like, they just seem so comfortable with the drafting, whereas their opponents felt a little bit more reactive. So I completely agree with the statement that was shared to us by Coach Zarate. And even when I see these guys during breakfast, honestly, they just feel so chill.
Oh, you guys eat breakfast?
I see them every morning, like around 9 a.m. That's breakfast, right?
Yeah, 8 a.m. is when breakfast happens, or 9 a.m., whatever your preference is. 10 a.m. if you're trying to run late for the shuttle to get here. But either way, just I mean, we're talking about NIP Flash, and I actually like that. I like the fact that he said that, because I think a lot of people look at NIP Flash and they think they are only cheese picks, right? Their identity is just these crazy picks in the mid or these crazy picks on the off. But the reality is they can also play a very solid composition and do very, very well with it. And I think he put it so well that it keeps enemies on their toes, right? It keeps teams not knowing how they want to approach the draft, especially in a best of one.
Let me just say, one of the most surprising players here for me personally is Vanix. Vanix has looked absolutely amazing. Yesterday when he was using the Moskov going up against Aurora, this is against Aurora. I was like, okay, you guys are coming in with a draft that is very conditional. And you were able to do it. Vanix didn't die a single.
ဒီမှာတော့မတင်ရသေးဘူးတင်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီမှာတော့မတင်ရသေးဘူးဒီမှာတော့မတင်ရသေးဘူးလို့သူကပဲ Facebook မှာတော့တင်ထားတယ်က Facebook VPN ခံလိုက် live လက်တော့မှကြောက်လို့နောက်မှပဲကြည့်ရမယ်အဲ့လိုဆိုရင်တော့နော်အေးစစ်စစ်ပျော်ပျော်ပါပါကြည့်ကြမယ်နော် brother တို့လည်းလည်းကြည့်ချင်ဒီမှာလည်းကြည့်ချင်လားအဲ့လည်းကြည့်ချင်လား
That was an overwhelming performance.
Yeah, the way he pressed the basic attack button, man, like, oh my god. And of course his positioning. The positioning. But yeah, talking about S2G here, man. I feel like their fundamental is actually very strong, which is very good. So I kind of feel like against S2G, trying to cheese them might actually work. Because personally for me, if you're going against a team that has very strong fundamentals, whenever the script goes a bit off, the whole tempo just gets disrupted, right?
Yeah, it completely makes you think like, wait, this isn't supposed to happen. This isn't how things are supposed to go, and you just have no way to approach. And some of those picks, you don't know how to lane against them. You don't know how to rotate against them. It's a completely new strategy that most teams have never gone against before. especially for a team like S2G that maybe doesn't have as much international experience as NIP Flash, right? NIP Flash has been around the block a few times. They've been doing this for a long time, essentially, and these players know how to catch teams off guard. They know how to, expose teams' weak points, and that's what S2G has to watch out for today.
Yeah, because again, fighting fundamental versus fundamental, going up against SG, I don't really know if that's a really good idea. But before we move forward, we have the privilege to actually talk to KZP. So let's see what he has to say.
Hi guys, here's Michelle. Now I'm having the analyst from NIP Flash, Kazapi with me. Hi Kazapi, how are you? Also, hello from my panda to you. Okay, so let's quick talk about the draft, the meta. So your coach told us your team might or might not go with like the cheat strategy. So in your opinion, do you agree that is a good meta for some kind of the surprises pick to come up?
I feel that M6 has gone into the Swiss stage format. So by going to the meta all along, it has been quite a norm for every other teams.
Yeah,
so once a while picking cheese strat to fight against different teams, it may caught them by surprise. So that's one good thing about having cheese strats.
Yeah, so it's still a lot of like the meta pick on the stage, right? So in your opinion, you prefer like the best of one or best of three more?
I would say that Swiss stage format is new to everyone in the MLBB scene.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say that changing things once a while here and there is fine. So BO1 or BO3, we'll just try our best and fight as a team.
Oh, just all the same. But did you guys any different preparation before the best of one or the best of three? A different preparation for you guys?
For best of one, we will try our best to pick our comfort picks so that our players knows these basics to the highest level. But in terms of best of three, we will try to pick a little bit things more differently so that we can counter each player's comfort zones as well.
Yeah, so you guys have prepared for all of the situation on the stage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what can happen on the game, the S2G versus the NIP Flash? It's a good time to figure out. So the panel, back over to you.
So for a best of one, stick with comfort. Best of three, we'll try a little bit differently. But I like that he is very open to the change. It's like, hey, Swiss stage is new to everyone. Everyone has to adapt. And looking at the score, NIP Flash is actually adapting quite well.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the most exciting teams to watch during these kinds of situations. It's a great way to start and to introduce the Swiss format. So I know we previously talked about it even in the podcast, like how we really wouldn't consider, or we don't think that there'd be much difference in terms of like how teams actually play and respond to this best of ones. But NIP Flash, they're really showing how beneficial it is to them.
Yeah, but for now, we got to look at the lineup coming in from S2G because, again, they're going to be playing a best of one against NIP Flash. We haven't talked a lot about S2G, so let's actually take the time here. Sigibum, Pagu, Begida, Kazuya, as well as Lunar. And again, they play very, very well as a team. Very coordinated here, Trex.
Yeah, I think, we saw on the first day, Lunar did this amazing job on the Ruby, able to open up the map for his team and begin almost, played as more of a support, not as much as that front liner. And I think as long as they can do that, if they can bring that same strategy here and surround Sigiboom, make sure Sigiboom is in a safe position, that's what's been winning games so far for so many teams. The gold laner has been so important. As long as you can get to those first lords without letting the gold escape you, there's always a chance for victory.
Now we got to look at the lineup here coming in from NIP Flash. Both teams don't have changes for this best of one. We still have Vanix, JPL, Cortese, Hades, as well as Diablo.
And I think we could actually define NIP Flash and their playstyle overall right now as one that's extremely disciplined. It's not straying away that much from all that we expected them to bring to the table. So I'm really excited to see how S2G could bring out that brute force oriented playstyle we've known them to play for quite some time up against this version of NIP Flash, which at the same time seems a lot more predictable, but at the same time they still feel like they're not.
Yeah, and now even though we're looking at the players here, we still have our audio. So I'm gonna ask in 3,
And
we're gonna give our predictions here, right? It's just audio. Don't bother with it, all right? 3. No, don't do that. Okay, you know what? We'll do an end chat first. We talked to Coach Pao. What happened in the match against BTK yesterday? He said we were performing well from the early to the game. The miscommunication, the last 2 more dances costed us the game. I believe the pressure got to the team, even though everything went smoothly in scripts. In a high-pressure environment, these things can happen.
We talk about mentality all the time. We talk about teams being able to handle the pressure. And there are certain teams that we always see come back to M Series that normally have the ability to deal with that. This is just another Friday for them, just another Saturday. It's just another M Series for some of these players. Whereas new faces, new teams, when it's all on the line, the pressure starts to build up, and that's when those small cracks, those small mistakes start to happen.
All right, I'm going to pressure you guys. In 3, say who's going to win. In 3, 2, 1, Flash.
Flash.
S2G.
We're supposed to do it at the same time.
Or
S2G. S2G.
Sorry, I wasn't on the wrong phone, so I was lagging a little bit.
ROG, you got to give us a phone. Give us a phone so that we can do our jobs well. There you go. But yeah, so going against the flow here, Trex, you know what? Shut up. What do you think, Flash?
He always does that.
He always does that. He just doesn't like other people, which I can respect. I feel the same.
I like S2G.
Yeah, but I mean, but for me, why I think NIP Flash is probably going to get this is because of just how consistent their performance has really been and how they don't seem to least bit rattled in this setup heading into F6. So I feel they're really riding on that momentum, even despite what S2G has shown us so far. So now let's see, because it's finally time. We'll get all the answers we've been asking at the beginning of our channel.
Yeah, for me, I vote for NIP Flash because when I went to the toilet just now, I just noticed I forgot to turn out the flash on my phone.
Okay.
So that's where I know.
I thought you didn't.
I didn't flash. Okay, I didn't flash.
Sorry, important to talk about here. Those bands are coming in a little bit slow right now. On the side of NIP Flash, taking their time, they know what's on the line. If either of these teams loses, they go down to the lower end and start fighting for their life. Hilda, Matilda, Alpha, Louis, and Fanny Band on the side of S2G.
Looking at the bands, we can tell a lot. Look at the bands coming in from S2G, the Louis, as well as the Alpha, making sure that their front line, this basically shows they want to play a front-to-back kind of composition. Alpha is good against that, the Louis is good against that. Looking at what NIP Flash has panned out, they want to stop aggression coming into the side lanes from the Matilda, and banning out the Hilda shows that they want to use some kind of assassin. I wonder if NIP Flash wants to let go of that Bruno and then pick up something like a Suyo or a Joy.
There's also a lot of trade here. Yeeves open, Jujin's still open. I think that that's what NIP is like, okay, do we ban out the Suyo here, go for the trade on the Yeeves, and then so you ban out the Suyo, you toss up the trade fine, you get Jushin, but we get even something else, or you get Yeeves and we get Jushin and something else, but no, we
Bruno ပဲဗျ Bruno ပဲတန်းပစ်သွားတဲ့အနေထား Bruno ပစ်သွားပြီဆိုတော့သူတို့ဘက်ကတော့တော်တော်လေးတော့အဆင်ပြေသွားပြီဗျ Bruno first pick ပေးထားတဲ့ဒီ NIP Flash အနေနဲ့ကတော့နှစ်ကောင်ပြန်ပစ်ရမယ့်အနေထားမှာဘာကောင်တွေများပစ်သွားမလဲကြည့်ရမယ်ဗျကျွန်တော်စိတ်တင် Jungler နဲ့ ESP ဒါမှမဟုတ် Rune နဲ့ mid လေးကိုပဲထုတ်ပြသွားမလားဆိုတော့ချက်ဆောင်ကြည့်ရမယ်သူတွေဘယ်လိုဖြစ်သွားမလဲအဲ့ဒါတော့ကြည့်ရမယ်ဗျနော် Okay ဘာဖြစ်မှာလဲ Tigreal တွေဘာပဲပစ်သွားမလားသိရမလား JPL ရဲ့ Tigreal ဒါမှမဟုတ်ချောင်း JPL ချောင်းနေပါဆိုတာလည်းတကယ်ကောင်းနေဗျအဲ့ဆို Oh JPL ရဲ့ချောင်းပါပဲ JPL ရဲ့ချောင်းနဲ့အတူပဲ High Loss Venice ရဲ့ဟော Diablo ရဲ့ High Loss လေးပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဗျနော်ဒီချိန်မှာတော့ JPL ရဲ့ချောင်းဆိုတာတော့တကယ်ကောင်းနေဗျအရင်တည်ရမလားဘာမစ်ကိုစော့တဲ့အချိန် Ace တို့စော့တဲ့အချိန်ကလေးက GPR ကတော့စော့လာတာဆိုသူ့ချောင်းတော့ကောင်းတယ်ဒီချိန်မှာ open နေပြီးတော့ကတော့တွေပါတော့ပစ်သွားတယ်ကျွန်တော်စိတ်ထင် mid lane လေးများထုတ်သွားမလားဒီချိန်မှာသူအနေနဲ့ Visana တို့ဒါမှမဟုတ် Aurora တို့ထုတ်လိုက်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ပို့ပြီးတော့မိုက်မယ်လို့တော့ထင်တယ်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုဟိုဘက်ကတိုးမဲ့ high loss တို့ချောင်းတို့ကိုတည်ရမလား disable တွေပါပေးဖို့ဆိုရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်စိတ်ထင်အဲ့ဒီကျွန်တော်ကြိုက်တာကတော့အဲ့ဒီ Visana နဲ့ ဒီချိန်မှာဥရူရာလေးကိုပစ်လိုက်တာကတော့ပိုပြီးအဆင်ပြေမယ်လို့ထင်တယ်မဟုတ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဟိုဘက်ကပစ်တာဒါမှမဟုတ်ဘန်ဝါနိုင်တယ်ဗျဒီချိန်မှာဟာဘူဇာကိုပဲသူ့အနေနဲ့ယူထားတယ်ဗျโอเคကြည့်ရမယ်ဗျဘာလို့ဘယ်ကောင်ဖြတ်မှာလဲဟိုဘက်ကပြထားတာ6နဲ့ high လို့ဗျဟာဘူဇာဘယ်ကောင်ဖြတ်ချင်တာတော့ကြည့်ရမယ်ဗျကဲသူ့အနေနဲ့ဘာပြန်ပစ်မလဲကျွန်တော်စိတ်ထင်ဒီနေရာဒီချိန်မှာ mid လေးတော့ပစ်စီချင်ဦးဂျန်ဂလာဖြစ်ပစ်လိုက်တာတော့ကောင်းမယ်ဖြစ်ဒီမှာဂျန်ဂလာအနေနဲ့ဘာရမလဲဘာကောင်းမလဲဒီချိန်မှာလင်းနေပါလင်းလည်းမကောင်းကွာအဲ့လောက်ထိဘိန်းတော့ကြိုက်တယ်ဗျဘိန်းလေးတော့နည်းနည်းသဘောကျတယ်ဘိန်းတွေဘာတွေကောင်းတယ်နော် high low raking တဲ့အချိန်မှာဘိန်းလိုက်ပြီးတော့ deadly catch တွေဘာနဲ့ပုတ်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့မိုက်တယ်ဒီချိန်မှာတော့သူတို့အနေနဲ့ goal lane Moscow ကိုပဲရွေးသွားရဗျဒါအေးကျွန်တော်ကတော့နော်ဒီ pit တွေမှာကြည့်အောင်ပဲဗျဖြတ်လို့ရပါတယ် Moscow နဲ့ Harabusa ဒါပေမဲ့ Bruno တော့မနိုင်ဘူးဗျ Moscow ကတကယ်စော့တဲ့ကောင်ရင်းနဲ့တွေ့ရတယ်သိလားကဲဘန်ရမယ်ဘန်မလဲဘာက mid lane တွေပါလို့နေဆိုတော့စိတ်တယ် Visana နဲ့အဲ့ဒီ Aurora တကောင်ဘန်မယ်လို့တော့ထင်တယ်။အိုး Zushin ပဲဗျ။တဲ့ Zushin ကလည်းနည်းနည်းတော့ခက်တယ်ဗျ။ Zushin အဲ့လိုမျိုး live ပြီးတော့ပုတ်တာတွေပါဆိုတော့လေ။ကြောက်မို့ပဲဘန်ဝိုင်းလို့ထင်တယ်။
NIP Flash, they're super efficient in their early animations, especially if Hades gets his hands on the Joy that you were both talking about. So they take out the Jushin. Oh.
Yeah, Joy's banned now.
Yeah. I mean, again, we saw it, so they have to see it as well. The question is, what if all of it gets bad, and then they're just like, you know what, we actually just want Fredrin. Fredrin has been popping up in M6.
And against, we saw it beat the Hayabusa yesterday.
Exactly.
We saw it beat the Hayabusa yesterday. It took a little bit of time, and if there's a team that will know how to slow play it, they will do this. But NIP bans out the Jushin, they ban out the Valentina. They're forcing S2G at this point to ban the Eve.
Exactly.
It's like, if you don't, NIP gets first pick.
There's still the Aurora. They usually pick that up against the Hayabusa as well, but then I'm not entirely sure if that'll like complement the entire idea of how NIP Flash typically plays their early game. Because if they were to go for the Fredrin, then that would potentially be a slower start for NIP Flash as compared to S2G, who can they like focus and play around the Bruno and just let the Hayabusa do his thing.
They're taking the time here, Trex. They're thinking about it. If we let go of E,
ကျွန်တော်တော့ Aurora တော့မဟုတ် Visana ကြိုက် Visana လေး
how
ကို
are we
ပို
gonna
ကြိုက်
fight
တယ်
against it? Is the Bruno strong enough? Is the
Visana team even
go
go
တော့ Visana ကောင်းနေ
Visana လေးကိုကြိုက် take the risk.
Which I was
Now,
not.
pick up the jungle. Pick up the jungle so that the Martis can still be up. Or pick up the Martis and then you're like, is it mid? Is it jungle?
Yeah, who knows? Exactly. You just pick up the Martis now and you throw him for a big loop. S2G here though.
ဘာကောင်ပြစ်မလဲတူနေရမှာတော့ mid နဲ့ Jungler လေးလိုနေတယ်ကျွန်တော်စိတ်တွေ mid လေးကိုပဲအရင်ပြထားမလား
We saw them pick the Ruby day one. I think it works well against the show. I think it works well against the high lows. It works well against those heroes that want to try to get up in your face. And it creates more space for Siggy Boom. Could be a possible last pick here on their side. NIP Flash first pick. What's going to happen, Brigida?
I mean, there's the leader, the CC, there's a lot of options here, possibly.
What's going to be?
But then...
Wait, I was thinking about it. I saw the higher and I was thinking, what if they go late? And honestly, if they pick up the Martis, it works well because you can stall for quite a while, but...
Fairmans too, they can pick up something like a Fairmans here.
S2G ထွက်ပစ်လေးတော့နည်းနည်းပူကြိုက်လိုက်ရ
S2G on the other hand still need EXP roam or mid, you know, however they want to flex things out here. Like I said, I like the...
if they pick up the glue, then I can see a Fairmans doing quite well.
If they do that, then NIP definitely has the immediate answer, the immediate possibilities.
Push S2G push နေတဲ့ဘာကောင်တွေပဲဖြစ်သွားမလဲ
Ruby CC
ကျွန်တော်တို့ဘာလို့ပြရတော့မယ့် data လူဘက်လူတွေကတော့ mid နဲ့
I don't know. CC works well against
mid နဲ့ Roma ဒါမှမဟုတ် mid နဲ့ EXP နော်ဘယ်တော့ Roma နဲ့ EXP တော့မသိရကလီ
in the
ကတိကိုပဲ
mid
ပစ်ထားတယ်ကတိရဲ့ fast
The far side.
ကျွန်တော်ကတော့ဒီကနေ့မှာ S2G ကိုပို့ကြိုက်တယ်လို့ပြောချင်တယ်ဒီလားဘာလို့လဲဆို fast ရဲ့အဲ့ဒီအမှန်ဝေးရဲ့ damage တွေပြီးရဆိုတော့ရင်းနေတယ်မကောက်နိုင်ဆိုရင်တော့ဒါအရင်များသွားနိုင်ဘာလို့လဲဆို Moscow ကလည်း ring ကတူတယ်လို့သိရမလား Stretch fast A strike လေးပြီးသွားတယ်တွေးတော့လောက်ကိုင်းသွားတဲ့အနေထားဆို
Martis is good again.
နည်းနည်းပို့ကြိုက်တယ်ဘလူကလည်းကန်ပါ
We're just throwing away the Aurora, the Vexana, we're not like mining all these heroes and possibly thinking that
ပို့ကြိုက်တယ်
per team
ကျွန်တော် S2G တော့ပို့ကြိုက်ပါတယ် brother တို့ရော
They're good heroes. Don't be wrong.
S2G ကိုပို့ကြိုက်တယ်
Don't be wrong. The Farza
I mean,
does
Harzaro
have
Baru-
the capabilities to always wings by wings away. Ling mid. I mean Angela mid. So
ရပါတယ်ရ
Angela
ပါတယ်
Ling.
ဖာစာကျင်းနိုင်ရတယ်
You got some
ဖာစာ
feelings
ပဲ
about
ကင်
this
ဘူး
here.
ဆို
I don't mind.
ဖာစာလာ
I like Angela
A
mid.
strike ကောင်းကောင်း position ယူပြီးကျင်းနိုင်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့
It's
AC နိုင်
okay.
ပြီ
It'll be Cho mid.
Thank you very much, panel.
Let's go
And everyone is going to throw it out to the gas. Let's go!
S2G ကိုအားပေး
Yeah, thanks so much for that throw, man. It's me, Mirko, again, joined here by Ingan for game number 2, or match number 2, rather, here of day 3 of Swiss Stage M6 World Championship. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, this is not an elimination match, so we can just chill for both of these teams. You get one chance, even if you lose, so it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, this is a 1-1 bracket if you guys are trying to understand the bracket right now still for the Swiss Stage. I know it gets confusing, but NIP Flash yesterday, they were able to upset again, getting a win against Aurora. S2G were brought down to the 1-1 bracket here, and now we see them collide once again. It is a Forza against a Ling, not just any Ling, it's Hades, and it's an Angel Ling. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to jump into the line of time for match number 2. Here we go. S2G versus NIP Flash.
You know, if the Ling doesn't have a good start, NIP Flash is gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have to rely on the Angel combination to get them through the late game. And at the same time, they have a Moscow that's also a late
S2G ကို drag ကိုပို့ကြိုက်တယ်လို့ Angela ကိုလည်း AC နေလို့ရတယ် Fasa ကြီးကတိလာ
enough to stop S2G Esports from reaching the early game power spike.
တကယ်ပြောတာ
I'm actually quite, you know,
ဒီချိန်မှာတော့
the Angeling
သူ့ဘက်ကိုစားကိုယ့်ဘက်ကိုစားပေါ့
NPL Indonesia, and you guys
နော်
probably see the
မ
M6
ဟုတ်ဘူး
pass
ကလီ
around
ESP
everywhere.
ဟုတ်တ
Wherever
ယ်
you
ကလီ
go, you
ESP
guys can go
ကြိုက်
get
တယ်
it right
မြန်
now.
တယ်
The M6
ဒီလား
pass
ဘယ်
is
တယ်ပါ
now
ဝင်ပေးဖို့
available. Up for
လာပေး
grabs
ဖို့
for
ဆို
you guys to get. You can actually achieve the
ကြည့်ရမယ်
level 75. That's a prime skin with all the other
JBL
boxes
JBL
here,
ဘာလို့ချင်တာလဲ
and
လုံး
the
လုံးမရအောင်
avatar
နော်
border
ကာဇူ
all for free. So go get
တော်
yours
ကတ်တီး
today.
အနေနဲ့တွားပြီ
Love
ကတ်တီး
skins,
စီ
a lot
လို့
of
ကောင်းမျိုး
giveaways.
ကွာ Angela
Thank you
တွား
so
ပြီးရ
much,
ဆို
Ramundo.
တော့
Thank you so much, M6
သူ
World
နောက်ဆုံး
Championship.
လိတ်ကင်းကြမှာ
Thank you
နေပစ်ထားတော့
for the
Angela ကြီးကောက်ပစ်လိုက်တာအဲ့ဒီ
NIP
ပစ်ကိုတော့တကယ်မကြိုက်ဘူး
Flash,
ဟိုဘက်ကကြည့်လိုက်ဗျာ
So
ဒီ
in
ဈေး
terms
ပဲ
of
ဆို
providing
ချောင်ရှိမယ်
a lot of vision for
ဖိုင်လို့ရှိမယ်
the
ဒါပေ
Ling
မဲ့
to
မကြိုက်
actually
ဘူးလူ
rotate
ကြီး
to
ကိုမကြိုက်
wherever he wants to go.
ဘာနေ
It's
ချင်း
going to be vital for
ဆော့လာတယ်
JBL to provide this
အ
information.
ရာပါညာဆိုရင်
It's all about that mid prio. It's all
How's
about
that rally
the
with China?
feathered airstrike. And I
Yeah,
think,
no? That's
you know,
2G.
Hotel Trex
I love that one,
brought it
man.
up earlier in the panel. There's a link.
Ski ကတော့စကားပြောရဆိုမယ် grab ခရမှာတော့ဒီလားအဲ့ S2G ကပို့တာတယ်
to pop in the glorious pathway. You have
ငါတော့ dread တောင်လုပ်ပြီးမယ်
and
ဆို
at the
ရင်
end of
က
it
လ
all,
မ
maybe
တိုင်း
an
နော်ကလမ
SOD
ပြောတာ
too.
ဆောင်း
It's
မိုက်တယ်
Master Assassin for both the marksmen and the gold lane. This is also the comfort pick of Vanix. We have seen, though, however, that Bruno does indeed win you
ပါလေ
games.
တောင်ပစ်ပြီးမယ်ကွာ
So
မင်းတို့က
SUG,
တည်ရမလား
even
ချဖို့
though
ကျုံးဖို့ပဲ
they
လုပ်ဆိုတာ
gamble with the Farsa,
စီပဲ
and the Bruno is a good safety net.
Drug
to
လည်းစ
rely
ကား
on
ပြောရ
here
တ
as
ယ်
they get mid prio to
Drug
set up
လည်းစ
for
ကား
the
ပြောတယ်
first
ဒီလို
neutral
ပွဲ
objective of the game.
S2G ရဲ့အတွက်ကိုကြိုက်တယ်ဟိုဘက်ကလှုပ်လို့မရဘူးဘက်ကောင်ရဲ့
S2G Esports
ရက်
starting
ဒီဘာ
things
ပစ်တာ
off
မှမသိ
by having
ဒီလား
control on this turtle.
Ta
But
တယ်
Diablo
ဟိုဘက်က
and JPL is just waiting
လုံး
for
လုံး
Hades
တာ
to
တယ်
come in the picture. Here comes Hades.
ဝင်ပါ
Waiting for the hard guard as well.
Wait,
They're just
ma.
trying to zone them out.
Ah,
Raging
bizarre.
Phantom coming in from Moonlight. Hades will
yeah, yeah,
secure
hold it.
the turtle.
Now it's going to be a time of the blades. Pagu knocked up. More to fight.
Twitter,
Blades
Twitter.
on Pagu with a
Okay,
revitalize.
Twitterပြတ်တာတယ်ညာတော့
Sustain
weekend
over, but it'll
night
still be first blood over to Hades.
ဒါကြတော့ကွာ
Strong start
စကီးနဲ့ဆောင်းဆိုင်ပါ
NIP Flash.
တူချီတူချီကမရဘူးတဲ့
Just really doing their job. But Lunar
It's
gets
right, check it out.
kicked
Check it out,
into
check it out,
that
tu lah.
feather
Bukan sana
airstrike,
ibu.
though. Okay,
Pasal
here comes
Israel
the Shadow
bukan
Guild,
sana
might be
ibu
able to
lah.
bring down
Tu lah, brother,
Diablo, and
ini-
Diablo is gonna fall down.
အချောင်းရတော့ဘူးဖာစာ Israel ကဖာစာပစ်လိုက်တာကြီးကအရန်ကိုတာတယ်မော်စကိုလည်းမနိုင်ဘူးဖာစာဖာစာလည်းပြစ်နိုင်ပြီအဲ့လင်းလေးကိုပဲနည်းတတိထားပါတော့ position ပြောက်ပြီးတော့ Israel တွေပါကျဲနိုင်မယ်ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်ဖာစာ draft ကပို့ပြီးတာတယ်
It was purely just Diablo and JPL creating space
No
for
one
him. So
draft
even
by
without
AR,
Purple, he was
okay, you
all good
done it.
there. Now, does it look like S2G
ကောင်း
are
နေ
trying
လုံးပြ
to
နိုင်
go
ဖို့
for
ပဲ
the
လိုပါ
orange
ကွာ
buff?
လင်းကအလောက်ထိမကြိုက်ဘူးပြင်လူလူလဲဆိုလို့သွားအိမ်လို့မရအောင်လူလူကဲပို့ပြီးတေးသွားလိမ့်မယ်ဟုတ်လား Air strike တမ်းပဲတစ်ချက်ပဲဟုတ်လားကျွန်တော်ပြောတယ် နောက်တာတော့မဟုတ်
Get the kill onto
တော့
JPL.
လေကိန်းသွားမယ်ဆိုလဲရတယ်ဗျာတိလားလေကိန်းသွားမယ်ဆိုလဲဒီ S2G ဘက်ကရတယ်သူ့ဘက်မှာ Bruno တွေပါရောပါနေအနေထားဆို EC ပဲဗျငယ်ပြော Moscow ကိုလည်း EC နှိမ်လို့ရတယ် Bruno က Ronnie Drug ကအရန်တာရယ် S2G ကသူနည်းနည်းပါးပါးလောက်ပြနိုင်ဘူးပဲလို့
and MPL SG
ငယ်ပြော Fasa Israel ချေတိုင်းဟိုဘက်ကောင်တွေဒီစရာတော့မရှိဘူးဖြစ်တော့လေဟုတ်လား ready ပိုင်းတော့ပြန်ပေးနေရတယ် spare တွေပေးနေရတယ်
Any of the members that
နေ
they
ပြ
can
ရော
see
မကြိုက်
from
ဘူးနေက
NIP
နည်းနည်း
Flash,
နဲ့
they're
ထား
not
တယ်
afraid to burst down.
ပြီးလေသူ
Use up
မစ်လေက
a lot of
Angela ကြီး
skills.
ဖြစ်နေတာဗျာတိလား
And
အဆင်
make
မ
sure
ပြေဘူး
to send the message to NIP
Yeah,
Flash that
yeah.
we won't get bullied
Better
at any
up,
point in the
Uchai.
game.
Vanex going to be sent into the mid lane as well.
I remember, no?
Some more waves to get to that item power spike.
Sakia လည်းစကားပြောမှဆို
If you take a look
နော်
at the items, Vanex
S2G ဘက်တာတည်ရမလားပုံမှန်လေး ECD ဆော့သွားနိုင်မယ်ဆိုတော့ S2G ကနိုင်ဖို့ပုံ
but
များတယ်
Kazua has finished the
Yeah,
100
no,
strike.
no,
So that's an item
I saw that
advantage
move,
over
like-
Hades, who is yet to finish the Berserker's Fury. And turtle number 2 is coming. This
Kali-
might NIP Flash getting
Kali
turtle
is
number 1.
Sandstone ရော
We'll see
Kadocha
right here
winner
on
ရောဆိုရင်
that gold lead. They
ခံ
don't
စား
have
နိုင်
that
ဘူးဗျာ
grasp on the gold lead.
ဟို
Just
ဘက်က
yet, S2G looking like they're
ဒီ
gonna
စီး
set
ပဲ
up
အဲ့လို
for
ဒီ
a
ပေးနိုင်
big
ကွာ
fight
ဆိုလို
mid
အိမ်နေ
trio
တိလား
to
high low ဆိုလဲ
begin
ကွာ
and
တကောင်နဲ့
Yeah,
စကက်
that's
တ
the
က်က
thing.
က်
I think
ဒီစီးပဲ
NIP
ပေး
Flash
နိုင်
is
တဲ့ကောင်
really the best
ချောင်းလဲ
composition
Tony
for
Duga
you,
to
considering
Eddie.
that Curtizi is one of the
So,
highly
Bruno တော့လွတ်
mechanical
ထားပြီးလို့ရတယ်
mid-laners
Bruno
all
ဆော့တဲ့
throughout
ပေါ့
this,
နော်
this
Moscow တော့မ
tournament.
ဖီးလောက်
And
လို့
you're
ထင်
just
တယ်
giving him an Angela, so
ဒီ
is
စီး
that
နေလို့ရရင်
really the
Moscow
best
အားလီမှာတိလား Bruno
lineup
က
for NIP Flash they have to offer up
So,
against S2G Esports?
သူဘာလုပ်မလဲ
It's a give and take, right? Oh,
ဘိုင်ဝဲတွေသွားချနေတယ်
okay. Hades
တော်
will
တော်
just use
တော်
it to
အဲ့ဒီဟို
get away with
Angela
the
ကြီး
shadow
က
kill. But back to the point,
ဒီကို
man.
ပူပေး
I feel like, yeah, it's
ဘာ
a
လုပ်ပြီး
gamble
လို့
you're playing. You're putting Kurt TZ, a very mechanical sound player, on an Angela, but it also enhances Hades, who's ridiculous too on those mechanics.
glowing ဝဲတွေပါတော့
This team
ပြီး
was
သွားပြီ
once,
ကွာအဲ့ဒီဟို
called
ဟာ
Hades.
ဖာစာ
Hades, you know, we're not gonna say it here, but
high low အကြလိုက်ပါနေဆို glowing ဝဲကိုပဲ
turn number 2, it does
ဖက်ဆိုင်
seem
တ
like
န်အနေ
for
နဲ့
both of
တင်
the
ရ
teams,
ရ
they
တယ်
both have
အဲ့
assassins.
ဒါ
They
တော့
do
တော်
not
မိုက်တယ်
want to
ဒီဘက်ကောင်တွေ
continue
တင်ရ
neutral
သွေး
objective.
တွေပါ
They'd
ပြန်
rather
မတက်
just
တော့
farm up and wait for those power spikes to hit, and then they might go and fight. This might be like a 1 turtle game, 2 turtle game.
ကဲပီကူ
It's gonna be
ပါကူ
stalemate. Right now, NIP Flash also
Hello,
considered
man.
as the Singapore
Chưa chia
All-Star
rồi.
team.
Oh yeah.
And
JP,
we can expect that because again, we have to wait for Kazue to scale up, for Hades to scale up, and for specifically
Flash.
for NIP Flash, they're really
No,
backing
hello,
on that
man.
Angeline combination. And if it fails, if Hades gets picked off and delays his power spike, it's going to be
လောက်လည်းမဟုတ်ပါဘူး
detrimental
NIP
for the
လက်
team.
လည်း S2G တူရကီ
gank up
တင်းရ
top.
တော့ drop တာ
Siggy
ဟို
Blue.
အဲ့ဒါရတော့မဖြစ်သေးဘူး Bruno နေ
The
နဲ့ပြည့်မ
Turkish
လား
trigger man will fall down in
Mày,
the hands of two
mày.
members of NIP
Fasa
Flash.
is
Now
a Jay,
SDG
Jay,
wants
Jay,
to
yeah,
go
Jay, retreat
for
up all
straight,
like
trying to
that,
take down the
look,
turtle.
Oh, bursting
Okay,
it down,
okay.
Kazue gets
Ta
the
tay
right
vô
down,
vào
the
rồi.
the stun, mid lane, raging
Sandstone chơi ra để
He's gonna
mai
connect with
quả
JP,
trong
catches it
đá đấy
midair.
cái đó
With
tiền
the
pi
way
này
of the
nhá rồi
dragon, Hades goes in with Tempest of Blades to bring down Lunar as well. And NIP Flash,
Fasa,
because
nó
of
đi
these
về
stalemate,
chạy,
but
nó đi
right
về
now
chạy,
they're
nó đi
going
về chạy.
for the clashes, brawling in the mid lane.
Woo! Just like
Má
that,
này
it's
quả
another
Bruno
play
nhá,
on
ông mà
S2G
solo
who
toa
wants to get
tiền
2
nhỉ.
kills
À.
for 1 turtle for NIP Flash.
The
And now
bot-
it's the opposite. Now it's
No
NIP
good,
Flash
no,
who
no
are going
good,
for the
no.
kills.
Ê, S2G à, cố lên mà
securing
ngon
the
lắm
turtle,
đi, wow.
and Siggy Boom just
Cái
barely
này này,
surviving or helping
tức là
that
pha
turtle to
sai
survive.
bài
Kurt TZ
Ezra
out of
chơi
the
lại
lane, a
phá
feathered
lâu nhau
airstrike
Angela
took him real low.
Moscow
And the
rồi
kill on the Siggy Bomb onto the top
Dre
lane.
ta
Really
điều
worked
nó
wonders
ra
for
được
Vanek.
sống tiền
Gave
được
him
thế
a lot
nào
of
đấy
things to work with,
cái
but
drug á nhớ tài
JPL. So
S2G
5
này nè
members
drug
of
cái tài
S2G
đó
Esports
đâu
just
sao mà
instantly got deleted in the map.
Quick moves by S2G around the map.
S2G
These
drug, yeah,
rotations
cái chạy
have
đấy.
really helped them
Lý
get
là tôi làm
kills,
cái này
pick
sắp
offs
lên
around
này.
the map. But
Là,
you can see
là,
Hades
là.
doing the same thing in the bottom lane.
nè lấy
As
dùi lấy dùi lại
devilish as ever.
tôi là
The Drake's
sau ấy
ult.
là để được
Almost
pha
got
sa
caught there
Ezra
with
này
the
để
shadow kill plus
tí
the
đâu
feathered
mày không
airstrike. And now they're going to just turn this
không
on
cha lui
the
ai
top
châu
lane.
mi lại
HGP
cái đó là
committed to
cái này
Vax
Moscow bám bầu là
manages
gì
to evade that
Bruno
three
ya tài
heroes
dù
of
à.
S2G, but goes
Ôi,
in
ở
as
Piero
Beatrice
là
wants
biết
to
gì
go
mi
1v1
McKenna
with Siggy
McKenna
Bomb. Here comes the art guard. Okay, the clash. Oh, look at Hades onto the back line.
အေးဟီးပြရတယ်ဖတ်လိုက်ပါဟီးရဘာလုံးမရဘူးဟိုဘက်ကောင်ဒီပြောချောင်းလေးကြည့်အောင်
NIP Flash using
ဟိုဒီကောင်းဆော့နေရရကွာဘလူးတော့ကန်စမ်းပါပိတ်ကန်ဖာစာအေးဆွဲရတယ်နဲ့လိုရသေးလားရင်ကုန်နေရလားပြင်တုံနေရလားတော့မသိဘူးဖာစာအေးဆွဲအဲ့လိုကျဲရဘူးခါရရဲ့ chance right ယူဘယ်နေပါဖြစ်နေမှာကျဲရ
at any given moment
ကျဲရတစ်ချက်လောက်ပဲကြည့်အမေရိကန်ခုနနေရမြစ်လိမ့်ပါတည်းမှာအန်ဂျလိုင်ပါတည်းပြတ်သွားတယ်
they're really utilizing the capabilities of their lineup. They have a Ling and a Moskov that's good when it comes to macro gameplay. So even if clashes aren't going on, they can just play the long game and just go for the split pushes, catch S2G on eSport off guard. Right now, connect plus the Diablo, but he casts it right. I think Lars Pathway on side.
Comes in now.
ကျဲတာနင်းတွေပါဝင်ပြီးတမ်းမပလိတ်တွေကောက်ပြီးရချင်းအဲ့လိုနေထားအဲ့လိုနေရာမှာကျဲရမှာပါစာကျဲရတွေကမားတယ်ဗျာသိလား
And it will be a 2-for-1
ဘာမှလည်းမဟုတ်သေးဘူးနှစ်ကောင်တော့တန်းပြီးတော့တည်မလားပါစာ X-Ray တန်းကျဲပြအဲ့ဒါတွေကမားကြီးပဲဘယ်ဒီပိုင်းဆိုင်ဟိုတမ်းမပလိတ်လေးနေတမ်းမပလိတ်ပြီးခြားကောင်တွေအိမ်နေတဲ့အနေထားဆိုပါစာ position ကောင်းယူပြီးတော့ကျဲရပိုကောင်းတယ်အဲ့လိုဆို damage တွေအများကြီးထိနိုင်တယ် Moscow လည်း Twitter လောက်ရှော့ပြီးနိုင်တယ်အဲ့ဆိုရင် Moscow လည်းအဲ့လိုဒီပြစ်နိုင်တယ်အဲ့လိုမှာ ကွာကွာ high low တွေပါလေတွေ့ရတယ်ပါစာ X-Ray တန်းကျဲနေရကြတော့မိုက်ကွာအဲ့ဒါကြောင့် S2G က Greta ဆိုပေမဲ့အဲ့ဒါကြီးကတော့ဆောင်းပေးတယ်
Despite SUG actually starting that clash, so NIP Flash again going back to their composition. It's easy for them to re-engage and respawn no matter.
position အပြောင်းနေ position အပြောင်းနေရမှာ
It's very clear from what Begin got
position
the
အပြောင်းနေရ
role
မှာ
here.
အဲ့ဒါမှမနေသင့်
They
ဘူး
want to do. They want to just stick together and
ဟုတ်
fight.
လားဘာလို့ S1 ကိုအဲ့လိုကြီးကျဲရလဲမပါစာ S1 မရှိတော့ဆိုမှ၄လို့ပါလို့ high low လို့ Moscow လို့အကုန်လုံးဝင်ပြီးတုံးတာဗျာဟုတ်လား Moscow လို့ပါလို့အဲ့လိုမျိုးဝင်ကျုံးတာအဲ့ပါစာ S1 ကိုအဲ့လိုကြီးပေးတာကြီးဆော့ပေးကွာဒီက S2G ကတကယ်ဆောင်းပေးတယ်တော်ရတော့ထွက်မှာပါပဲသူကကြီးတင်းရတော့မဖြစ်သေးဘူးကွာပါစာ S1 အဲ့လိုကြီးတန်းကျဲပြတယ်မတကယ်အဲ့လိုမကျဲရအောင်လေဘော်နေကပါစာ S1 မရှိတော့ဘူးဆိုမှတန်းပြီးဝင်လာတာလေလို့ Moscow တို့ကြည့်လိုက်
JPL with the G
လွယ်တယ်ကွာ
and in fact comes in teleporting behind you. Now it's a Lord.
ကျွန်တော်ဖြစ်တယ်လေအဲ့လိုကြာနော်
Should be taken by NIP Flash. Nothing S2G can really do.
မပွဲရပဲရှိတယ်
And the rest of the member is going to have to give it away to NIP Flash. And so far, this is still winnable or defable for S2G. And at the same time, as long as they are able to save their mid lane turret and just keep their jungle area away from NIP Flash, Kazuya can still manage to bounce back and later on activate CD's powers. But again, this is a Bruno that we've seen win a lot of games. And up against a team like NIP Flash, I mean, S2G Esports, they really need to get the pick off that they really want.
Gotta wait for that power spike for City Boom though. He is 400 gold behind.
ငါနေအမ S-Ray ပဲကျဲနေအဲ့လိုနေရာမှာ AD ပဲရှိနေအောင် S-Ray မကျဲဘူး Oh my god power ကာလို့ရတယ်ဒီဘာဖြစ်ဒီပဲ short ပလိုက်လို့ရတယ်
Usually Hosclaws Berserkers all good. Now you gotta wait for that Melfic gun to be a real threat, a 1v5 kind of carry. So S2G, it can still bank on that. Begin already got the Wishing Lantern too, so he should be able to provide some good poke over.
S2G ရဲ့ drop ကိုကြိုက်ဆိုမှကြည့်အောင်အလကားနေပေးနေပါစာတို့ပါတော့လည်းကြောက်နေ
the SOD, getting so much room from Diablo.
ပါစာဆောရာယူကြည့်ပါ AD ပေးရတယ်ဆော့တလွယ်
He hasn't been poked at all by the feathered airstrikes.
ဟို GBL ဆိုရင်ကတည်မလားချောင်းကြီးပစ်ထားပြီးတော့ဘာမှတော့မကန်ရအောင် PC ပဲသူ့ကိုလှုပ်ချင်တာလုပ်နေ
Let's see if NIP Flash
GBL ဆိုလည်းရောင်းနေရဗျာဒါပေမဲ့ EC နိုင်တယ်ကြည့်အောင်ပါစာ X-Ray ရအပူ
now
ပြ
they're
စ်
just depriving S2G Esports of the necessary buffs that Kazuya especially needs to scale up quickly with his Hayabusa.
The Melfic gun already secured by Siggy Boom, so that's the item we were
တကယ်ဆိုကအဲ့ Angela တို့ဟို Moscow တို့တွေးလျှော့လို့ရတယ်
for Kurt Teasy.
ဘယ်တဲ့ဖြစ်ပြီဆိုမှကျဲရမှာမဟုတ်ဘူး तू ကဘယ်တဲ့မဖြစ်ခင်က X-Ray ကိုတည်ရမှာဆိုကျဲပလိုက်တာဆိုအဆင်မပြေဘူးလေ
Cross-map plays around.
ငိုင်းဝါးပဲတဲ့ကတော့တော့ထမပဲဆိုင်တော့မှာတော့
together. So far, even when they're clumping up, they really haven't been able to get the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
NIP Flash have just found ways to split them up or beat them in their front to back. They just dive, man. I don't know how to say it. NIP Flash are local.
Yeah, a lot of credit also goes to the glorious path because every time you see the feathered airstrike committed, it's always just one or two that connects.
Yep.
And after that, NIP Flash doesn't want to play around the vicinity of the feathered airstrike. So NIP Flash really does have a lot of mobility to stay away from the aggressive ultimates that S2G
to
them.
It's mobility and then it's sustain, right? Because when you get
gets bursted down by 5 members of S2G. That's one problem crossed out. S2G against NIP Flash.
Everything in the kitchen.
ဆိုရင်1-2 လေးပေးလိုက်စတန်ပေးနိုင်ရတယ်
JPL, man.
နားရဆိုရင် 1-2 ပဲပေးလိုက်တကောင်လေးပြောစရာကြီးက X-Ray ပေးရတယ်
sustain. NIP Flash, the reason they've been able to neutralize the force threat was because of Kurt Teasy always healing them back up with the photo. If you can burst someone down like that, then yeah, the healing doesn't really play into the game that much. If you can one-shot or evaporate the members of NIP Flash like they just did to JPL. Hades will still pull up. This is benefit of having Hayabusa. You're not really too reliant on the purple buff in the later stage of the game, even in the early game. So Kazuma should still be fine. What's really going to be concerning is the fact that
they're going in, Glorious Pathway again, and they're gonna break down the target's trigger, man. All of a sudden, S2G Esports has to walk away. They have no damage. They have no cargo as well. And IP Flash will play this by the book, gonna go instead for the second Lord.
That was speed in a flash. S2G just lost their gold laner. You blink and you miss it. And IP Flash are too fast, and for S2G, they've got no peel. Hades secures the second Lord of the game, and this time it will be an enhanced Lord. Even though S2G have great high ground, they should be able to clear out the waves with Siggy Boom and Begin on these picks. I don't know about the dive. You try to go for your ultimates on the Lord, and then Mr. Man Vanix comes around. Hades comes around, and Diablo pops in the red carpet for everybody to walk in your face.
And that's the thing, even Vanix voluntarily dives onto the backline just to try and stop the feathered airstrike from being fully utilized for the side of S2G Esports. And now NIP Flash has the luxury of having the enhanced Lord into the middle lane. They can actually take out all inhibitor turrets, or better yet, end the game right now.
That's a base turret in the mid lane, taking down the feather airstrike, baited out. Diablo goes in
with a Glorious Pathway and trying to zone out the rest of the members of S2G. They're doing their best to try and clear it out as NIP Flash takes down 2 inhibitors, 1 inhibitor turret left for them to take down.
2 base turrets. Fortunately for S2G, it isn't the far lane, so they should be able to still manage the waves, though it is going to be tough. NIP Flash, though, they're going to stay disciplined with it. Now they're going to bring in another wave up top. Hades is ready. Feather airstrike
going in with the templates of Blink, but gets kicked down by JBL as well. Hades continuing his onslaught. 4 plays onto Kazuma. Here comes the counter attack coming in from S2G. In a response, Kazuma gets a kill, but Vanix is the main problem of S2G Esports, just focusing on the base. And NIP Flash, 1 more hit to bring down the Crystal and take this game.
Diabolical from NIP Flash. S2G wanted to brawl it out. They wanted to fight. S2G could not do it. NIP Flash went straight for the base. There was nothing else set in their sights except for that crystal. Every single member went for it. And even though S2G got the free hits on Siggy Boom, even though they got their win conditions towards the end, everything except for Begin dying, it was not enough. At that point, it was 14 minutes and 59 seconds. NIP Flash, they couldn't wait a single second for that 15-minute mark. No, they had to end it right there, right now.
The improvement of NIP Flash after losing the CFU, beating Aurora, and this time beating S2G.
Well, take it away, man. What do you think about the game?
Dude, NIPD don't stop. Once they got the momentum, hey, you guys can't take down Diablo. Hey, that's good news for us. NIP Flash just keep going and going and going and going.
It felt like it all happened in a flash, literally. They just took that game, and we didn't expect it to be that easy for them.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of fighting going all around the map, but me and Trex, we've been looking at Begin. How is he going to position going up against NIP Flash? And let me tell you, he did well, but there's not much he can do. Once he opens up the feather airstrike, Glorious Pathway, SOD, the Link, there's no one from NIP Flash is letting Begin do his thing.
Yeah, and the problem was as well as nobody from S2G could let Begin do his thing. There was no real peel on the side of S2G.
No, I agree.
There was nothing
you said wrong.
Yeah. Nothing. Even the Khalid, it's more of a dive hero. Exactly. It's a damage hero. Nothing that could really hold them up for just a second to let those feathered airstrikes drop down. The moment that all popped, we saw it at the end there. If it wasn't the Cho, it was the Ling. If it wasn't the Ling, it was the Hylos. If it wasn't the Hylos, it was the next one. I mean, everyone just knew exactly how to deal with it. And you're right, momentum was key, and it completely destroyed them.
So this is one of those situations where if they bring up the Ruby, like you were talking about the Ruby, might be a little bit better because again, Farsa's damage, man. Let me tell you guys, it's out of this world. All you really need to do is let the Farsa free hit, but Begin couldn't do it.
Yeah, there were so much high mobility targets just trying to look after Begin, trying to chase after Begin, and immediately transitioning to the next nearest targets right after that because it was just that easy for NIP Flash. We were also looking at how the timings of the hard guard, they just came in the most unexpected times, but they were always ready to fight. It didn't feel like they were just entirely reliant on the way of the dragon setups. They were making plays individually all by themselves.
Heck, JPL just like, hey, use everything on me. 5 ult, 4 ults, boom, bang, bada, bing, I die. But then my team is like, hey, we see an opening. Right? And many times JPL just like, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Gah," and he dies. But then everyone else is safe. Isn't that right, Trix?
It's very, very true. As long as he can get at least 3 to 5 ults, which he did every time he died, the rest of the team has opportunity to capitalize. And I love what Brigida said about the Heart Guards, because even early game, we saw Vanix getting bullied for just a second. And before the Heart Guard even connected, Vanix was like, all right, I'm going to re-engage because I know the Heart Guard's about to come, and completely turns a 2v1 into a 1 and a Heart Guard against 2, right? And wins out in the lane for a second. So no matter who got it, it worked out for the side of NIP Flash.
True.
Yeah, again, and we were talking slightly about it. Egan as well as Merkel were talking about it, giving Kirk Teasy something like the Angela. Let me just say, it was not punished. Because the thing about Angela mid is that you move to the sidelines a little bit slower because you take time to clear the minion waves, so you're going to stay in mid for quite a while. Usually the Hayabusa would just take this opportunity and get the Angela multiple times, but we don't see that. Right? We don't see that, Brigida.
Nope, not at all. Honestly, this just really showed us how the versatility of NIP Flash. Like, they're just not limited to one style, to one approach, whatever they actually draft. And the way that Kazue actually had a relatively great early game, he actually got the kills, but not just on the ideal targets, so that you could really build up on those moments.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Brigida has to say, but now we have to throw it all the way to the stage with Rose alongside with NIP Flash to see what they have to say after that win.
The only Singaporean team in the M6 World Championship taking another win in the bag this Swiss stage. And right now I'm with Vanix from NIP Flash. First of all, how are you feeling after winning?
I feel good because we were able to do one, and one more win will be qualified for the playoff.
Yes, one more win is all it takes for you guys to qualify for the knockout stages. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have a lot of opinions regarding our Swiss stage format, where it's very unpredictable. We technically only know the matchup the night before. Now, Vanix, in your opinion, how are you guys coping with this unpredictability?
So for me, for the players, we usually don't talk that much because the draw is quite late. So usually it's our coaches and analysts doing all the work, so they will research on the team and do it after the draw, and then you'll last until like midnight or something, then they go to sleep. Yeah.
I think we can see that based on this kind of like stage where the draws are at night, a lot of the coaching staff actually does sacrifice a lot of time, and to make sure that you guys have enough resources for the match day itself. So the players are just technically like chilling and just doing your own thing, is it?
Yeah, the players usually do their own things lah. If you want to join, can join also. But for me, I don't.
Oh, you don't? What do you do?
I just stay in my hotel room and do my own things because I can't contribute much.
I see. Okay. That's fine. I'm pretty sure everybody understands that. Okay, now Vanix, I have a question. This patch, I feel like the gold lane is quite a big thing. A lot of people are saying Bruno is super duper OP. You need to get it, but you just won with a Moskov. Now, in your opinion, what are your thoughts on the gold lane meta this M6?
My thoughts on this gold lane meta is like quite OP lah, cause the Bruno is late game hero, and we from the game that we had just now, we tried to shut the Bruno down quite a lot using the Link Angela, like basically dive him lah, so he won't perform. That's how we secure the win also.
Aren't you guys afraid of letting the Bruno go? I think this Swiss stage so far, Bruno has a very, very high win rate. So were you guys really okay with it? And you guys have actually come up with a good counter plan for letting Bruno go?
We didn't expect them to first pick the Bruno lah. Yeah, we were expecting us to first pick the Bruno because we were like second one. But then they first pick it, so we just came up with another plan, which is the Link Angela, to kill the Bruno.
I see. I think it paid off pretty well.
Yeah,
okay, now Vanix, before I let you off, before we wrap this up, I just want to ask you, now that you guys are one game away from the knockout stages, okay, it's a 2-1. What team do you guys actually want to face the moment you guys get into knockouts?
Maybe the strongest, because which is Fnatic on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone wants to face the strongest to prove that they are stronger. won the M6.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. In order to prove that you are a strong one, you have to go up against someone strong. Thank you very much, Vanix, and congratulations on your amazing win. And with that, let us throw it back to the panel to break down what happened in this game up against S2G.
Thank you very much, Rose and Vanix. And even though Vanix was like, yeah, I don't contribute that much in terms of discussion, but let me just say, when it comes in game, Vanix does a lot. And this is also another discussion where even teams are considering, like, I don't think they're going to take Bruno first pick. We want the Bruno. But now teams are considering picking up that.
We really be playing. Maybe we doing needing.
Hurry, no? Copyright of beam lắm đi. Mai đi. Hold on, mate, you know? Hold on. Okay, Falcon Esports ပွဲလေးလာပါတော့မယ်။နောက်ထပ်အကောင့်တော့ဘယ်လောက်ခေါ်တာလဲမသိကြည့်လိုက်။အကောင့်တော့မခေါ်သေးဘူးဗျလာတော့။ကဲ။ဘလာကြီးချင်းလေးနားတော့ပဲဗျာ
This ain't that we're not genius. This ain't that gently truck. This ain't that Gino Karima Namali Gina. A thumb job. The drive is long and got to this place. But all I found is empty cases. So it's not for myself, I'm singing. So I'm glad for myself, I'm living. Really, I'm in every day. Baby, I is a tanya. Shonji, I'm reaching up your chain. Busy, baby, lamp your cake. Really, I'm not party day. Just so I can keep your link. Who's in the one page in Ninja? Choose only to me, she.
Nico, is that you?
The clouds bring the rain, and my feelings do the same. Falling, it's crying season. Miss the warmth of your eyes, but no, you don't mind falling. I wish you just a change. She may have the mind you should crave. Wake up in the morning, start to feel that I'm losing something. It is you, keep on flying, but all I see is skylarks flying. The clouds bring the rain, and my feelings do the same. Falling, it's crying season. Miss the warmth of your eyes, but no, you don't mind falling. I wish you just a change. Chia ma pony do in a truck and move. Boy, dancing so on it, but don't want home like it. She garu at the ani aim at Tracy, Thailand, they will piss it and pay out the Kim Arena. Do you is a country chicken, is a boy to go there, Maradona, Polonia, Maria, they will call. Dialogue me, a me, dialogue she, a me, dialogue jacket, a boot, dialogue drink with that soup. Only penny, I didn't know what you call a far up young there, housing my tabby name, Minchella, Vaji, she only get to Bermuda. She a jacket in my train and chick up in the Target doing a giant doing, yes, I am with time giant. Kaba, you only boy champion, Kabaja, Yazamu, they will match it with me. Kaya case in a ching, I get a chip in the yeah, kissing a ching, I get a chip in the Game Falcon Esports SRG Falling It's crying season ကိုရီးယားတော့ Falcon Esports ပဲနိုင်မယ်လို့ယုံကြည်တယ်နော် Falling
I wish it's just a dream brother ရဲ့ comment လေးပါလိမှန်ပါအောင်လို့Just gonna be collection ချင်းဒီပါတောင်းဆိုလို့ရတယ်အဲ့လေဝေးလေးရတော့လာရမယ်နော်နောက်တဲ့10မိနစ်ကောက်တော့ခေါ်လိုက်10မိနစ်ပဲကြာတို့ပြနာပြီးတယ်ရပါပြန်နေတိုင်းမနေမကောင်းဘူးအော်နောက်တွေ့ကြများပြဲလို့နေပါ Fading down and never will never fade, baby. Find your back to keep the love to with me like my body. Don't pass it, so I need to marry. Change your line down so refuse. But chinny makes a carry. You cha-cha, no, no, cha-cha-ry. Me, I'm back to aim and now the side is in you. Pop that out, no? I'm planning to see my suit, jam, I'm out tired to have it all. Pina music, yeah, go get to name a cow. For a three job, yeah, piano, be right. Say the day, Oh, now three job, yeah. Tell me bye.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Sam. Coop yo. Thanks for the call out, G like time I poke on and I'll get cool down, sit down in there. Bro, maybe I never go was doing. Me, Brandy, Surin, Hamil, Compton, David, South, Chachi, Charlie Blue, David Mac goes Lanko, Charlie get it. How circle the channel I got it be on the town Sunday, this about the sound again. Wimbledon College, Chibe, Gita Logan, but near the yard, got a chill bear radio station. I told him my legs will be say courage in ya. Don't think I really go my milk pian to a chamber to a jai by lonely simply la. Hold on, man, I could spin shit, hobby, let she drain it, a pen of your shit. The chin of the she like a couple, I pin on my other meeting. Sahon, Dia, Chin, Yama, Ye, Chin, Simmer, don't want the other she get the bother, Hima, Bama, you, Rollum, Ya, Alon, Thing, Target, Yama, Chive, and Zaja, Doma, Uzama, Be, Joshin, and secondary, the female. Let some people the way tie she with me, get the level of my chocolate. I swear I'll beat them as soon as they about me and found. I don't know when I made money, so the night. Sorry, I jumped the jump. Now she's out of task. The drama, I show me a quiet water. Queen years or bomb out of Kabayami. Do you come a little out, chit the toilet? Halijar on the Payama, Python and dog. I'm a sorry, I'm not in Jammer. Tara goes away. Now the take man on the main to Chaya, she's a team, and what one of Jarek. Not teach up the tower, alone up, midway Sazia. She's a Yazan and I show him, and then he a South Ray, Jenny Doyle. And I brought a lot of raps to the call unit. Let the men that watch at a jump sheet. The town says out the diesel machine that nobody drum me a young you meet on the Jarema. Christmas in Yaba, hung up on the dome of me and me at the Chincha Tava. And then the Chila, the Chincha Guava, so the car after the air. Lower South away. The town shop a meal, how down the job, didn't job a bed, came to out of gold there. My water, my cool machine or a piano, dream me and leaning out Jaro. My bread, now not Shami is risk, God, drag you the chalk, my pop your place. Simply last with me, now I see ဒါမှမဟုတ်တိတ်စင်မပြေဘူး
ခက်ခဲကြုံလိုက်တိုင်းမှာစင်ကြီးတစ်ခုပေးဖို့အတွက်ဒိတ်တကောင်လို့ဖွင့်နေပြောင်း
တွေ့နေဘူးတဲ့
ကိုချစ်ရတဲ့ main လေးကြောင့်ဆုံးရှုံးခဲ့တဲ့ပြင်မမှာငါမျက်နှာခက်
ပြောပဲ
အတွင်းစိတ်ထဲမှာငါကိုငါခွင့်လို့တဲ့
ငါကိုငါချီတော်ပြီးငါကိုငါပုံဆုံးပဲ
မိုင်းနိုင်ထောင်းလိုက်စိတ်ချောင်းကုန်လုံးလက်ကလေးထားထောင်းပြီးစောင့်နေဘူးတဲ့ back to the future ရုပ်ရှင်ထဲအလိုမျိုးချင်းတွေများရုပ်
ငါပြန်နေဘူးတဲ့
တစ္ဆာရှိတဲ့လူတယောက်ဖြစ်ချင်ခဲ့ပေမဲ့
စိတ်ကစားချက်ကိုပေါက်ပြန်ခဲ့ဘူးတဲ့
မဟုတ်တဲ့ကောင်မလေးတောင်းတဲ့ရုပ်ရှင်ထဲမှာသူသွားကြည့်ရအတွက်ကြောင့်လည်းပေါက်ပြန်ဘူးတဲ့တန်ရိုက်ဝင်
So you sky ပြောခဲ့ပြီးအတွက်ကြောင့် sorry ပါ walkie တောက်ပြီးတော့
ဘာနေဘွားရုံငါ
မင်းနဲ့လဲခဲ့တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့် sorry ပါ
ဘာမှရေးမပါကိစ္စကြောင့်မင်းရဲ့ Facebook account
block မိတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့် sorry ပါ
နားလည်မှုဆိုရရှောက်တွေသုံးသားတဲ့လှုပ်လို့ဖြစ်သွားရင်
အဲ့အတွက်လည်း sorry ပါ
sorry တဲ့ဘာမှပြေဆုံးတဲ့ပေါ့တည့်ရတဲ့မင်းကို
တင်ခေါ်ပြီးအတွက် sorry ပါ
တွေ့ကြုံတဲ့ချင်းတဲ့ထဲရေးဝါတွေဘာမှကျွမ်းကျင်တဲ့
အတွက်ကြောင့် sorry ပါ
နေရှုံလာတဲ့အိမ်မက်တွေဖြစ်လာချိန်မင်းသားနဲ့မင်းသမီးမ
ရခဲ့လို့ sorry ပါ
ဖုန်းဆက်တာမကိုင်လို့
တိတ်ရှော့မရှိပါဘူးစိတ်ကောင်းနေတဲ့ထင်းတော့ပြန်ချော့ကြည့်တာ
ယောက်ျားတယောက်လေးနဲ့ queue ဆိုင်ကိုပေးနိုင်တဲ့ညမှာငါလည်းမှန်တယ်ပြောရင်
နေကျွန်တော်လစ်ဟခဲ့
ခုလိုပေးသွားလို့ညောက်လို့နားကဲမှာပိုကောင်းမှုဖြစ်လာမယ်လို့ပဲ
မျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်
တင်ကြတဲ့ခုကတော့ငေါ့ပဲရစိတ်ကျင်တဲ့မှုလို့ပေးနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီတ
ချင်းကလွယ်
တန်းခွဲပြီးနောက်မှာမင်းနေရမှာကောင်းမလေးနောက်ကြောင်ငါစားထိုးဖို့
တင်မရှာခဲ့
ဒါပေမဲ့နေတူငါတွေ့လာမှချင်းနေ
ငေါရှိတိုက်လက်ကပေးနိုင်မယ်သူဒီဝမ်တဲ့အစိုက်တေးဆုံးသွားတီ
ကောင်းတယ်မှာငေါ့တော့မှာ
မိနိုင်တဲ့သူ
boy လမ်းခီးအခက်ခဲတွေချင်းဆိုင်ပြီးပန်းတဲ့ရှောက်တဲ့ဒီမြဲတဲ့ရှောက်
လမ်းနိုင်မယ်သူ
ချင်းမထိုင်ပေါ်မှာဆိုရင်ကြုံလာခဲ့တဲ့ဘာဖြစ်ဖြစ်တဲ့ငါပေါ်တဲ့
ကဲပြချစ်နိုင်တဲ့သူ
my future that
ငါမောင်သူ
ဖြတ်ကျော်ပြီးကောင်းရမှာ
cherry တို့လေးနိုင်မယ်သူ
သူရောင်နေများတဲ့လောကမှာစစ်မှန်တဲ့ချစ်ချင်းပြတာမျိုးနဲ့
အဲ့လိုမျိုးချစ်နိုင်မယ်သူ
ဥပမာ the pain that secret တို့ like per ကြည့်ပြီးတော့
chemistry မိနိုင်မယ်သူ
ကြိုရေးမလိုက်ရှင်ထဲမှာထွက်လာတဲ့စာသားတချို့ကတော့
နေငယ် free side နဲ့တူတယ်
microphone ခဏလောက်ဒီချင်းကိုသားဘူးရဲ့ချစ်တယ်
ဒီထက်မှတီးတယ်
ရပြီ come on ပျောက်ဆုံးနေတဲ့ငါ့နဲ့ရိုးချောင်းလိုက်ရှိုက်ချင်မှမင်းစီမပြန်ပြီးတွေ့ဘူးတင်တယ်အိမ်လေးဝင်ထဲမှာအားရတဲ့အေးဝတိုင်းပဲစပြိုင်မင်းနဲ့ပြောက်တဲ့အဲ့လိုပြေးဘူးတင်တယ်အမှတ်တရစဉ်းစားနေမှာကောင်းနေမှာပြေးမင်းကြောင်းတယ်တော့မှမမေ့ဘူးတင်တယ်စိတ်ပြီးခေါင်းမဲ့တဲ့လူတယောက်တော့မဟုတ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဆူတောင်းခဲ့ရချိုးတော့ပြေးဘူးတင်တယ်မနိုင်ပြောရင်ငါမှလည်းချွန်းချက်တွေနဲ့ပဲထင်ထားတော့ဆင်းတော့မချောတင်တယ်စိတ်နဲ့ချင်မှဝမ်းသာချက်တဲ့ကောင်းကြသူမျိုးအန်အောဘူးတင်တယ်မြို့ကြီးပဲပြီးဆိုထားတဲ့ချင်းစပုတ်ကိုဘယ်နှခေါက်ပဲစုနေရပြီငါတော့မမောတင်တယ်ဒီမှာတွေ့ရင်ဒီပါဇက်ကဘာလို့ပိတ်နေမှမသိဒါပေမဲ့ sky အများကြီးမြို့ပြောဘူးတင်တယ်ဒီနေ့ပတ်တဲ့ငါခံစားချက်တွေကိုခြိုင်းနေစားရတဲ့ခေါင်းထဲမှာပုံထင်တယ်ဒါတွေကားထဲမှာငါတို့ဟိုရှင်တော့လူတွေတယောက်နဲ့တယောက်ကြည့်ချင်းပြန်နေစုံမှုချင်းနဲ့တက်တကြီးလာပြီးမဲ့ခုချင်းဒီဆယ်တော့တဲ့ကျောင်းသားဘွားတော့မှလူတွေချင်းခုံမှုချင်းနဲ့ဘော်ရာတွေကိုပြောပြတယ်ဒီကောင်းတွေငါခံစားချက်တွေကို
နားလေမဟုတ်ဘူးထင်တယ်
ကျုံကြီးရောလည်းဘာမှမဆိုင်မဲ့
ဒီကြောင်စဉ်းစားနေပြီတယ်
တချင်းသားတော့လည်းချင်းရောက်တော့လည်းမင်းမင်းငါထပ်ပြီးတော့စဉ်းစားနေပြီတယ်စောက်ဖတ်တော့လည်းစောက်ရဇက်ကောင်မင်းမင်းဒီအောင်ပြီးစဉ်းစားနေပြီတယ်ဘာကြောင့်မန်းတော့မသိတော့ငါချင်းလုံးဝင်မင်းကြောင့်မစဉ်းစားနေပြီ
အားလုံးပဲ subscribe လေးလုပ်ပါပြီးပါဦးဒီ channel လေးကို
ချင်းနေပြီနော် brother ရှင်ထဲမှာဖြစ်နေတဲ့ငါခံစားချက်တွေကိုလုံးဝကိုသိမ်းတာလို့မရတော့ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်
let's go Falcon Esports ပွဲလေးလာပါတော့မယ်ခင်ဗျာ
ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါ
ချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ယောရှင်ထဲမှာဖြစ်နေတဲ့ငါခံစားချက်တွေကိုလုံးဝကိုသိမ်းတာလို့မရတော့ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ဒါကြောင့်ရှင်ထဲမှာဖြစ်နေတဲ့ငါခံစားချက်တွေကိုလုံးဝကိုသိမ်းတာရတယ်ပဲ
ရှားနေရဖြူအောင်ပိတ်တိုက်ကိုငေးမင်းနဲ့မဲလေးကိုဖျားဆုပ်ပြီးခေါ်ဦးတင်တယ်
အော်တော့ဆိုင်များလို့
ဝင်နေရကလေးဘွားတော့မှတောက်လို့
ပြောဦးတယ်
ကင်မရာလုံးနဲ့မျိုးတက်ဖို့ရိုက်ချင်ပေမဲ့လည်း
အဲ့ပိုင်းမှာငါတိတ်တုံးတယ်
ဒါပေမဲ့မင်းရဲ့ပုံရိပ်တွေအားလုံးကိုင်းနေတဲ့စွမ်းကောင်ကကြိုးစားပြီးဖော်ကျွတင်တယ်မင်းနဲ့ခန်းပေါ်မှာမဲ့လို့ပဲကဘာပေါ်မှာဒီထက်ကိုဆွဲဆောင်မှုကောင်းရမရှိဘူးတင်တယ်ပကြီးကားချက်လို့ကဲနေဝင်မြောက်နေတဲ့မင်းလောက်ပေးတဲ့ကခံစားကြည့်ဘူးတင်တယ်ဘာပြင်မထားတဲ့အိမ်လေးဝစ်စားနေ
အဲ့လိုချပကောင်းနေတာမင်းကိုမသိဘူးတင်တယ်
ဘွားရှောက်တွေ့ဘူးတည်းမျိုးသမီးထဲမှာမှန်တယ်ပြောမင်းမတူမမီဦးတင်တယ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးတစ်ချင်းလုံးကိုတူနေနားထိုင်အောင်စောင့်ပြီးတက်သွားကြည့်အောင်ပုံကြီးချဲ့ဦးတင်တယ်အိမ်ကြီးချင်းကောင်းမလေးတယောက်ကိုတဲဝဲလေးတွေ့သွားတာကောင်းတဲ့ထုတ်ပြပုံတွေ
မင်းတင်တယ်
ဆိုတော့ဝါရိုက်တေးပဲအကြောင်းပြတဲ့ရှိပဲနဲ့
ဖြစ်လာခဲဦးတင်တယ်
ကဲယူစီအောင်စောင့်ပြီးကဲယူဝါချင်မှာဒါမျိုး sorry အပြင်ပဲယူနေမလဲ
ဒီချင်းနေချင်းကလည်းမင်းကြောင့်မစဉ်းစားမိတယ်
ဒီလည်းကင်းလို့ဒီရှုံးနေချင်းရောက်တော့တဲ့ဘယ်
ဘယ်ငါစဉ်းစားမိတယ်
ဒီနေ့ပဲဆိုပိုတော့မှတတိရတဲ့အုံနောက်ထဲမှာမင်းကြောင့်မစဉ်းစားနေမိရဲ့ညနဲ့လိုက်အိမ်မပြောမင်းကြောင့်လည်းချိန်လုံးမှာစဉ်းစားနေမိရဲ့
ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ်ငါချစ်နေပြီထင်တယ် yo
ရှင်ထဲမှာဖြစ်နေ
Let's go let's go Falcon Esports ပွဲလေးကတော့စတင်ပြီးပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Santa Cruz. It's good to have you
အားလုံးပဲစောင့်မျှော်နေတဲ့ Falcon Esports versus SRG Silicon Run Giant ရဲ့ပွဲစဉ်လေးစတင်တော့မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Right here. There's only one answer. Come on, right? We're on home soil.
SRG ကတော့အိမ်ချင်းအတင်းဆိုပေမဲ့လည်းညီမအတင်းနေတွေကတော့ကြောက်မှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဒါလို့လဲဆိုရင်ဒီမနိုင်ငံမှာလည်းအဲ့လိုမျိုး pressure အများကြီးဖယ်ခဲ့ဘူးပြီဆိုတော့ easy ပါတယ် Falcon Esports အနေနဲ့ဘယ်လိုချပြသွားမလဲဆိုတော့ကြည့်ရမယ်အားလုံးပဲ Falcon Esports ပွဲလေးစနေပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်နော်အားလုံးပဲ
What about you, Renmar? Where are your allegiances aligned with?
Well, it's the team up there in front. Nah, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm going for the SRG side. And I'm not just saying that because I live in Malaysia, but I feel like SRG is one of those teams that, just like in the playoffs, never tickle a sleeping dragon. But the sleeping dragon, or the sleeping giant, rather, it was prodded. It was a lot of things happened to it, and then now it feels like they're awakened, especially with their last performance.
A
lot of things could have gone possibly
Let's go
wrong.
Falcon
I'm not
Esports.
gonna give much of a
Falcon.
prediction
Let's
here
go
at the very
Falcon.
least, you know, it's going to be a little tough to say who exactly is going to win, especially with both teams being red at this point of time. But with that being said, at least we've kind of set the stage for expectations here. SRG is looking to be the favorites overall. Let's bring up predictions just to keep you guys in mind here. But boys, let's go through it because unfortunately, based on what we've seen for the past 2 days, the Swiss stage, how has it been for you personally before we talk about that?
ဘယ်တင်လာလာရိုက်မှာ
hell of
ဘာမှ
fun
လုပ်နေနဲ့
with
prediction
everything
တွေ
that's
ဘာတွေ
been
ကတော့
going
1 series ပဲ
around
ပြီးတာဆို
okay, outside of the hero picks, it's just the action. We're going from on one end, sometimes it would get super dominating, but games such as, you know, Falcon and Twisted Minds would pop up. Very long, just two teams butting heads, non-stop fighting, but still not forgetting to take care of their minion waves. So yeah, that's this kind of MLBB I want to see, dude.
Yeah, I think overall it's just there's a lot of upsets even on day one, right? We had like 5 out of the 8 matches of the best of ones that ended up being a big surprise. Now we're getting into the elimination, the advancement series, but at the same time we are also seeing what all of us have talked about behind the scenes. The evolution of the meta. Bruno basically a world-class marksman from day number 1, and now we're seeing teams pick it up every time it's available, but we're also seeing teams starting to find answers to it. NIP Flash just now, great solution, right? Angela, Ling, plus a Cho, plus the Moscow. So at the end of the day, the evolution is going to keep on going, and I'm looking forward to more.
I'm glad that you brought up evolution because it's only just a matter of time, as some may say here. Let me just put these on real quick because of course we have to give our shout out over to Ferry, where luxury meets gaming, with Ferry's first M6 Swiss watches, a special jewelry collection for Jushin and as well as Mia, as you can see right here on my wrist itself, and a brand new championship ring and medals. Follow at Ferry on TikTok and our website for more updates if you want to look just as swaggy, if not a little bit better, as some may say later today. Now, with Ferry out of the way, and as we were talking about, a matter of time, we've seen different phases of these teams, and some may say that people have woken up from day number 1, and coming into day 3, do you think it's the same thing? Because I feel like this is the breaking point for teams.
Yeah, especially since all the teams have already gone through 2 matches at this point. I feel like, yeah, they've definitely woken up. If not, then they're going to be in dire straits. There's a lot of information to base their drafts off of. Not just their own games, not just their opponents. A lot of teams feel like they're learning from one another. Mobile Fred become the return of Global Fred. So, yeah, I think that trend is going to continue, and we might see teams really try to replicate strategies and drafts that they've seen from other teams.
I think it's about impression. It's about going over to say hello, Panda, because you can fuel your games with Hello Panda. Crunchy biscuits filled with creamy chocolate, the ultimate snack to keep you energized. Level up your day and visit Hello Panda for more info. You got one box right over there. No.
Please. Trex finished it again, man. Every time.
They keep doing this to us. Me and Husky felt it during the wildcards as well. LaFell also notorious for stealing the Hello Panda flavors right from the table itself.
Wait, flavors? We have more than one available?
We had chocolate. We have a strawberry.
Yeah.
Those are two we had on cast.
Apparently they have like I don't know, like a cookies and cream to go along with it. We haven't tried that just yet, but I'm pretty sure, considering that the chocolate's already good, it's easy to imagine the rest of the flavors are going to be just as great. So make sure you visit Hello Panda's website for more to help level up your day. But coming back to today's matchup, this is a best of one, and yes, technically there are no stakes, but at the same time, as much as we are leaning towards SRG's side, Falcons have actually shown that they can keep up with some of the best, even with the chants going on the audience right now.
Yeah, I think you kind of can see the contrast between these two teams that have had shaky games, that have dominant ones, right? Falcons on day number 1 was able to take out NIP Flash. That was a big surprise. SRG dropping the S2G. And then you look back at day 2, Falcons kind of went late against Twisted Minds, and that one was turned out disastrous for them. Whereas NIP Flash took down one of the favorites, right? They took down Aurora in that 1-0 bracket. So I think in this current state for SRG and Falcons, I want to see if they can bring out their A game, because after this, you're going to play a best of 3 regardless. It's whether for advancement or elimination.
Well, I mean, it is advancement or elimination. That's why I'm saying that all these teams are currently on edge. Because can the Soaring Falcons stop the Giants' awakening? Keep in mind, they are going to be playing on home soil. I don't know if the audience can see the quick little anthem being played in the back, as well as the fandom slowly gathering together to cheer for the squad. Remar, if you were in their position, especially for Falcons, you worked hard to get to this very point here. Now you are facing off against hometown champs. What are you doing?
Well, I remember my training. Falcon, we've talked about it before. They've simulated environments such as these. Their coaching staff, their management gathered them together and said, you guys are going to be playing in internationals now with hometown crowd advantage. So we're going to blast your headphones with a bunch of chanting, with a bunch of noise, with a bunch of drums, and you play your scrims with that. So they're sort of used to this in a sense. But at the end of the day, the actual on-ground experience is significantly different. But I feel whoever is the main captain, the main big brother of the group, just tell them, guys, come on. We already did this in our boot camp. We can do this here in IOI.
That's a funny point, because at least for the Falcons, the last time, I'm pretty sure it was SRG who did knock them out from the previous competition. But that was a very different lineup coming in for the Falcons. Now coming into this, I mean, obviously we got Dax, who's a very big standout for the team, and obviously Benny as well. But now the veterancy, as you mentioned, maybe I'm not sold on it just yet. I've heard this crowd before, and even these headsets don't block out all the noise.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that might be coming from the coaching staff then. It'll be the coaches who'll have to tell these young men to say, hey, you know what, guys, just chill out. I know it's difficult, but if you get carried away by the chanting, by the energy, then we're not going to get anywhere.
Okay, with that being said, being on home court comes with a couple of advantages. We gotta give it over to Yums here. We've got a quote from Innocent and as well as Falcons here. Again, the Beast versus the Claw. Now, this is gonna be very interesting, as we've seen very standardized picks, but when we're looking at both of these players, they have signatures, and maybe last season it was the Roger, the Harrod, you know, undefeated, able to win them international tournaments. But then Falcons, we've seen that it's not just the Bruno, it's also the Beatrix, and honestly, they're looking very similar.
Yeah, very similar in terms of how consistent and how monstrous they can be as a goal laner, but very different in what pocket picks they bring out, right? We've seen Innocent on picks like the Bruno or Beatrix, but he has found a lot more success on picks like Moskov, Harry, Roger, Claude. Same, it kind of is the opposite for Benny, where if you give him Bruno, Beatrix, he absolutely pops off, but for every other hero out there, we need to see more of it.
We do need to see more of it, and honestly, I keep saying that these two players are looking a little similar, but let me just double check because the stats are telling me a different story. Innocent, 13 kills, 8 assists, 0 deaths in 2 games, giving him a 21 KDA. It sounds crazy, but it's only been 2 games, so don't worry about it. 849 GPM, 5,574 DPM in comparison to Benny. 6.5 KDA ratio, 765 GPM, 3,625 DPM. So, Remar, do you think that Benny, this is his moment? Like, the meta has changed. He could be the next Innocent who has his signature pick.
Oh yeah, 100%. Mainly because remember, Benny earned a name for himself as the best Bruno in Myanmar before Malefic Gun. Before the world said Bruno is the best marksman in the world right now, Benny was already playing that. So that means you have a marksman in Benny who isn't afraid to get up close and personal, duel in lane, because he was doing that before Malefic Gun came out with Bruno. So if I'm SRG, make sure he does not get that big in this BO1. Put him in something else. But whatever he ends up with, Innocent has to accept that this young hotshot is going to be going up to his face and trying to beat him in lane.
God, you sound like you work in sales. I'm a little sold on that idea. But with that being said, it looks like we have an interview coming in for the Curse Master himself, DJY. We have Michelle to report.
RM6 dan sekarang anda bersama dengan saya reporter terkacak di sini Pochi dan bersama saya adalah KOL daripada Malaysia Mama Jazz. Apa khabar Mama Jazz?
Baik.
Okey Ma, saya ada beberapa soalan penting saya nak tanya. Yang pertama, kita tengok opening match kedua-dua pasukan Malaysia Selangor Giant dan
Of course, Pochi's got to steal the spotlight from us once again. He's great at doing his job.
We had to kidnap someone probably kidnapped DJY. We can't have him, right? SRG is playing every single time this guy talks about SRG. SRG unfortunately has suffered a loss, so I think we gotta keep him under wraps. On day one, we tied the wrong guy up. We tied Mirko up, and Mirko still managed to utter that SRG will win, and that's how we lost to S2G. So I do believe.
Yeah.
We gotta take care of DJY.
Oh yeah. He's in the warehouse. We got kidnapped. Okay, thanks. Oh, Remar, what do you think about this over with the Wait, no, it can't possibly be. What? I thought we already kidnapped him. It looks like they found DJY. Let's go throw on in with the interview with Michelle.
Hi guys, here's Michelle. Now I'm having DJY with me. Welcome to the M6. I know somebody call you like the clipper guy, right?
Yeah. What's up?
I have just noticed you're clipping the draws. So like, which matches are you looking forward mostly?
I mean, of course, it's the SLG match, bro. SLG vs Falcons, which is like right now, I believe.
Yeah, sure, but we all know that you got a curse. Let's test out the curse right now. Okay, so how many chances do you have SLG gonna go against the Falcon Esports?
I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. SLG 100% winning this. I'm sorry.
100%.
100%.
Okay. So for the last one, like, as we know that you have got like, we have now standing on home ground of the SRG, and many fans are watching at you. So any message to them?
Any message to like the SRGs?
Yeah, all the fans here.
To the fans here, for all the fans, support SRG, bro. That's all I gotta say. Support SRG. That's it.
Support SRG. Okay, let's rooting for SRG. Okay, now it's a good time to figure out what's gonna happen for the match S2 SRG versus like Falcon Esports. So the panel, back over to you.
I can't say that I didn't try to stop him from making a prediction. I'm so sorry, netizens who know about DJY, otherwise known as the Clipper guy, soon to be known as the MLBB guy. But with the curse so strong like this, boys, you think it's going to turn around for SRG? Because Falcons put up one hell of an argument.
If SRG can beat the curse of DJ Yappa, I think we're gonna have a good chance moving into the best of 3 tomorrow. I am still going for SRG, of course, but there's also kind of stacked, right? You gotta beat the legendary DJY.
Well, with that being said, let me introduce to you the hometown favorites here. It's gonna be Selangor Red Giants, champions of MPL MY, with Innocent, Yum, Stormy, Sakais, and Krem.
Golden Rose still alive for them. They might be the first team to complete it if they continue this winning streak. Of course, a lot of eyes. We talked about Innocent just now, half man, half beast against the Claw, which is Benny. But I personally think Stormy and Yum have still been the most pivotal members on the team. This duo, Stormy as the driver, Stormy as the commander, Yums as the driver, and being able to make these early rotations to help out Sakais and get him ahead. This is something that SRG has been really good at, and it has been what's helping them win.
Yeah, not gonna lie though, as a Filipino, looking at SRG when they play, I go with this idea of if Graham is happy, SRG is happy.
I mean, we say that, but they're up against Falcon Esports all the way from Myanmar, winning it out, but making sure that they are staying strong with Benny, Kid X, PX7, Dax, and as well as Royal Milk. Now, you did mention it just now, but highlight some of these players who are afraid of SRG, but who are the competitors here to challenge them?
Well, that's the reason why I mentioned Cram. Royal Milk has to step up to the plate. You have a Filipino analyst in Falcon Esports. The playstyle that they showed is a great mix of the Myanmar playstyle, the aggression, but the macro-focused, EXP lane-focused gameplay of the Philippines. So Royal Milk needs to be able to duel it out with Cram or outsmart Cram when it comes to the map presence.
အားလုံးပဲစတင်ရဖြစ်ပါတယ် Falcon Esports versus Silicon Red Giant တို့ရဲ့ပွဲလေးကတော့စတင်တော့မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Yeah, it's not outsmarting just in lane, it's outsmarting in the bigger picture of the map.
Well, that's understandable. But then, talking about that golden road, we asked Cram in our M chat, hey Cram, any promises for the Malaysian fans this M6? This is what he says. Hello Malaysia, this is my promise. We'll give everything we've got, take every chance that comes our way. This is our only shot at the golden road, and we hope to achieve this big dream of ours.
Only shot, right? Very important phrase, I think, in this whole conversation, because we already know how hard it is to even get to that possibility of a golden road. Who knows, right? If it ends here for SRG before they win the trophy, we might not ever see this run ever again.
Speaking of the golden road, Redmar, you have witnessed many teams, champions even, get close to the golden road but not close it out. Does SRG have what it takes, and if so, what's making them different?
I mean, hell yeah, they have what it takes to achieve the golden road. It would be disrespectful to say that, no, probably not, but they're here in the World Championship. They've won the title twice. They've won MSC. What makes it different is that how the hell does SRG adapt and rise up from defeat so quickly, from getting knocked down to the lower back by Kodak and then going back crawling, winning the championship 4-2, going through what you did to MSC, going undefeated because you know how to learn from the game defeats that you get. That's what makes SRG stand out.
And the craziest part is that the meta continues to change. As we go into the drafting phase, Falcon's going to be on blue side, SRG going to be on the red side, with 2 bans from each side already done. Until then as well, Z for the side of Naiucha, Hotakeida decides on Fanny and Jushin.
Very standard openings. I do am wondering if, let's say, the Bruno sort of goes through, because a lot of teams are still willing to let the Bruno go through because they're a lot more priority. It could be one of the first picks choice for Falcons because they're so comfortable with it. I like the Choban, a lot of respect, not just to use, but also to Crab.
Yeah, for Falcon, they definitely have to consider the possibility that SRG might actually just go back into play. Fredrin, man, I'm not going to turn off that idea. And then one of their first 2 picks. The Fredrin comes definitely way later into the draft. But now with a lot of power picks over the frontliners, you have the High Loss that's becoming one of the best picks that you can go for. Even Hilda up in that first pick. A lot of teams actually want to contest for those 2 heroes. It's like if you get 1 power pick, you're giving up, again, the Bruno.
The Bruno. I mean, we talked about Beast versus Claw each and every time. Honestly, very standard bans coming out from both sides. First pick going Bruno coming in big.
We kind of saw this coming, right? Like, you literally got the best Bruno in the country play. You gotta give it that Bruno. Not to mention that you reach that late game, he's just such a powerful pick. We've seen what Twisted Minds did. We've seen just now what Mayhem did as well, right? You want good late game insurance. Bruno plus Sicilian is sort of like that combo, but you do give the Loi over to SRG and the High Loss. We talk about how Loi is such a good hero on prodigies like Stormy or people like Super Friends, and now he gets that. The macro game for SRG is going to be so much more different.
Now if I am Falcon, you take away another strong frontliner that could show up for SRG, and they will not. They actually take away a pick of Sakai as they go for the Joy instead, and then they have Vexana in their mid, just so that they can get a little bit more of strong team fighting presence with the crowd control. So now they have to make sure that the Roam and EXP are chunky. It cannot just be pick off, it needs to be able to hold the front line, but it's so weird to say that because now we've seen the power spikes, the 1 item power spike of a Low E, with how well it can poke down the tankier presence of the front line. earlier on in the game at around 5-6 minutes into it. So whatever the tank in front line of Falcon will be, it has to be something with a little bit more mobility, which is quite rare.
So it's gotta be a power lifter who does yoga, gotta be flexible, but still able to block a door frame.
Yeah, quite demanding to ask for in one man, right?
It's a lot to ask for, but at the same time, I can understand the sentiment, right? It's gonna be difficult when you have to not only think about your flanks, but when that glorious pathway comes down, it's a signal that something is about to happen and you need a way to disengage. Now, the Suyo is going to be the final pick here to finish off the first phase of the game. Second phase, what are we lacking here?
I think for Falcons, they can go down two different angles. The very first one is you keep on banning Yoon's hero pool like Tigreal, right? Edith. So you sort of force this high into the XP lane and then you pick a counter match into it.
He's been a room
SRG, there's still plenty of options. Like Khalid is still up, Totkacha is still available. But if you're SRG, you probably will be looking at the XP lane. Yeah, so the Phobia is bad.
Falcon, I think 100% needs to ban the Tigreal. They have Joy with them. And the presence of the Tigreal, who we don't think of him as like the fast crowd control, but then suddenly that Joy's gonna get caught out. They're still respecting the next best gold laner that they can go for, which is the Beatrix, but then the Harith is still active in the map. Pairs very well with the high loss, pairs very well with the low E. If SRG don't want to go magic for their gold laner, Innocent showed off a Ranger in the very first day.
He did. Honestly, I do want to see that again, but there has been this trifecta. If Bruno has taken away the usual go-tos that we've seen so far, has been either Granger, Beatrix, and what NIP Flash continues to show, maybe even Moskov could be part of that mix.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Moskov, and when you have the low E, you always have the safest pick for Innocent, which is you always kind of fall back to the Claude, right? We haven't really seen that up to this point, but it can always be at the back of SRG's mind. They go for another ban. This one's going to be a chip, so I do like it. You don't want anyone to be able to match the low E.
Be too crazy to say that maybe they're thinking of pulling off something off of the Team Spirit playbook and picking up an Akai somewhere there. Whether the ESP or the Rome. Again, the scrims, leading into, well, the 14 seasons for Philippines and Malaysia, a lot of teams were floating around the idea of Akai being popped up more to counter the presence of the Tigreal, so I wouldn't turn off that idea.
Actually, wait, hold on. Husky was mentioning earlier that, limit down on the support section so that you do maybe see the Islands go into that EXP lane, but if with that chip ban and SRG being on red side, technically they could have picked it up for themselves.
Yeah, technically they could have, but I feel like you just want to... means that they don't want to go down that route, right? I was thinking either Kaja or Franco ban because you want to protect this Joy, so they go for the Franco ban. Joy is kind of right up in your face, but it doesn't eliminate the possibility of a Kaja, although it does make it slightly awkward now that there is the high loss kind of floating there in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if FCon is thinking about something like what we saw from Team Spirit. I think the glue wouldn't be too tricky to pull off in this current situation.
Glue for Falcon?
For Falcon.
Yeah, in the XP lane? Oh, wait, no, yeah. I'd be totally okay with that. That seems like a good idea. It seems like whatever SRG would want to go for into the gold lane, just the presence of the glue would be annoying enough to buy time maybe for the Bruno to just be able to free hit, and that takes up one of our conditions of a strong frontliner. Ranger, as we mentioned earlier, for Innocent. So if it's a glue, well, they can go ahead and pick the tick here, right?
Glue tick, yeah.
Glue Tig?
They could also go for a Kaja themselves, depending on how fast they want to go though.
It depends. As you mentioned at the very beginning, it's about the angles that they want to take, right? Based on what we're seeing, do they want to play to their style? Keep it a little chaotic, make sure that you're always guessing how they're expected to approach the fights, or do they just take Coach Arcadia's team head on?
Okay, so they take away the Edith option, yeah.
That's a smart pick. You take away that flex, right, for SRG that we kind of talked about a bit.
Yeah. There's the thing, yeah.
Okay.
They make it an Edith EXP.
Yeah, really clamping down on that hero pool for SRG.
Yeah, this is going to be a little awkward here because, again, it's very final pick. They've held on to the high loss as a flex, maybe to try and get Ikram himself the power pick, the winning matchup on that side of the map.
There's one hero I can think of, but I'm not sure if they would consider it the export for SRG in that XP lane, right? You put high loss, you put Yoongs on high loss, and you have this export. Decent backline dive, great against the front lines of FCon. They want to be in your face.
Oh, yeah. Export will be supplemented by the high loss, supplemented by the low E as well. It's not going to be the perfect pick. There's still a chance that either the Joy or
the glue as well.
Santa might just be able to take away his armor.
They could also consider glue, I suppose. It's not that bad either.
Yeah. I say the hard part is, do you want an answer to the droid and do you want it in the EXP? Oh, Guinevere. Wait, we don't know where the Guinevere is going on just yet. It looks like Cram.
Right?
Yep, it's Yums on that Guinevere, Cram on the high loss. Okay, after this, final predictions. Oh.
SRG's grab is a little bit hard to pick up, but I have faith in them, so SRG for me.
Falcon is simpler. All right, with that being said, let's throw it over to our casters, Naisu and Staffa. Take it away.
Okay, so yeah.
Thank you so much for the breakdown panel. Welcome to the caster desk. What is up, guys? I'm Naisu and joined, as they mentioned, with Staffa. Staffa, we haven't casted together since what? MSC 2022, also in Malaysia. How are we feeling? I'm guessing which draft you like better.
I mean, there's already a bit of bias going on there, but I think we are in for a very exciting series right here, ladies and gentlemen. We shall witness the Giants tremble the earth as the Falcons take to the air for a battle between land and sky. The land of dawn shall bear witness to a duel upon the M6 Swiss stage.
With that being said, jumping into the land of dawn here again. It's a best of one. It's going to be the Falcons soaring high to take down the Giants. We will find out. It's a jam-packed house here, and you can probably hear behind us. They've got the drums out and everything for the home squad team, SRG. Now, looking at the lineups, like I mentioned, you know, what they brought to the table in this composition, but also Falcon Esports. I've been really impressed with how they've been able to play up to this point throughout the Swiss stage, and the fact that they went that first pick for Benny, one of the marquee picks right now of M6, and a lot of the cause of debate on what should happen to Bruno. It's a solid choice for them to go ahead and start things off. Not only that, but even the fact that they have a Tigreal and a Vexana to help set things up. You throw in an Edith there too. That's a whole lot of crowd control that SRG has to deal with.
Yeah, I agree with you, Naisu. Like, I definitely want to root for SRG a little bit, but I cannot deny that Falcon Esports has a draft that actually is pretty terrifying, right? They have so much set up with the Edith and Tigreal to follow up on things, and Select Red Giants are very reliant on this Guinevere actually landing onto Dax, and that's a joy. You're not going to catch her easily.
Not going to be able to catch her easily, and I think part of this too is I really gotta see. I know it seems hold on. Top side.
Trying to go for top lane, gang onto Royal Milk. Not quite able to finish off Evil Queller. Going to miss right at the end there.
You know, how many times are we gonna see that too, by the way? Just low health bars and a Suyo across. Royal Milk's gotta do it again.
Ooh, a nice dash from Royal Milk. Just to make sure that he's not gonna get picked off here. Dax already waiting in the brush, but don't think gonna try and challenge this. They have their eyes on the turtle.
And this is what I want to see here, Staffa, is how is SRG going to utilize, especially the Guinevere pick? I know we've seen it pop up a couple times now. Some teams obviously finding more success than others. But this looks like it's just going to be an objective in the hands of the home squad, SRG, locking that one in. Not enough, I guess, utility available just yet for Falcon, but look at the play.
Immediately the work halfway in, and you even flickers for it. First blood claimed by Stormy with a full team rotation to the gold lane.
Just a huge play already. As I was mentioning too, you know, hey, Benny got his hero that he loves to play, that he performs so well on, but SRG decides to just go ahead and focus down Benny and make his early laning phase a living hell, then what can you do but to support him? And that's going to be up to Falcon Esports on rising to that occasion and dealing with that, because that's going to happen time and time again. And for Innocent, you know, the beast on this Granger, we know what that turns into late game. Yoops, he gets poked down a little bit. Ultimately going to be fine. First item's being picked up here too. That's the Hunter Strike now for Innocent. Meanwhile, over for Benny, still locking in that first one. What do you think they need to do to Benny so that he has a good time here? Do they just plant Kid X down on the gold lane for him?
I think you definitely don't want to keep Kid X in the gold lane forever, but a little bit of an increased presence is going to benefit Falcon. Generally, the traditional playstyle will lean towards Benny's side of the map anyway, so I think they can stick to what they're comfortable with. It's just that SRG went so quickly because they knew that Kid X didn't have Implosion ready yet to punish them for moving up that hard. Now that the levels have actually caught up on both sides, we're probably going to see SRG tone it down just a little bit to make sure they're not caught out in a big team fight ult.
I mean, we have seen that, you know, even the beginning days of the Swiss stage where SRG, they made a couple mistakes, and a lot of people were wondering, you know, what happened. And even Coach Arcadia himself said in that quote, they basically beat themselves because of the lack of discipline that they face. Oh, hold on, mid.
Speaking of, they caught Kid X at the Violent Requiem. No implosion because you are already dead. Right into the diversion play, going for Benny in the bot lane. Glorious.
Oh no, Benny.
They are diving the tower. There is nowhere to run. Purify will not save you. 3 kills for Selangor Red Giants.
It is not a good day for Benny in the gold lane, and man, that's the answer right there. Yume's able to find the mid lane. This turtle, though, I don't think at this point Falcon Esports really wants to contest this. They are getting in position for it. Implosion is available. They're gonna have to fight for it.
Royal Mint already popping Primer up. A 2-man knockout on Kid X. Guys already.
Oh, David, double kill.
Buying beat comes out. Dax securing the double kill as a counterplay to the Red Giants.
Falcon Esports will be able to get something, 2 objectives now in the hands of SRG, but you gotta give it up to Falcon Esports. Still able to find ways to keep things from getting too out of control, and that's exactly what they have to do. With Benny already being 0-2 early on, they know that at this point, they've got to give him even more time. We all know what Bruno can do once those items are locked in. It looks like they're going to go for this top turret. They do drop down the Glorious Pathway. They'll stop it from getting taken down. It's 1 HP away. So eventually that turret will go down, and Falcon Esports really maintaining from that deficit in the gold lead for SRG, getting it 2 out of hand, and I feel like they have to do this. They have to do this for the majority of this early game. Even if it turns into a situation, Staffa, where it's 3-for-3 turtles for SRG, they can still fight things out of Falcon Esports.
Ooh, great flicker timing from Royal Milk. Avoids the spatial migration from Skies.
Oh, dash it.
Eyes on Dax, but the joint is already dashed out. So it's an unsuccessful gank coming in here from SRG.
That turret top's finally going to go down. Benny working on it. As I said, it was 1 hit away earlier on. Good plays from Falcon Esports. Dax.
Guys with the
ကောင်းတယ် flick ရပဲပြီးသွား Stormy dash ဒါပဲ good right easy ပဲ spare တွေကုန်ရတယ်
Dax still able to dash
တော့
away.
spare တွေကုန်ရတယ် easy ပဲ
SRG will take the bottom tier 1 as consolation.
All right, so they trade it. They trade out the turrets for now. Both teams still putting pressure where they can, cross map especially. Oh, Innocent. Whoa,
ဒီမျိုးတတ်တင်နေတယ်မင်းရမြန် innocent ခွေးတော့
Kind of missing the Sacred Hammer. Here comes the Violet Requiem.
ပြင်းချနေတိုင်ဖက်နေအမ်းဖြစ်ပါဘူးတီခံလိုက်တာပေါ့
Flicker used by the Tigreal. Cram is here though to cut things off.
စုပေးထားသေးတယ်
No Sacred Hammer usage, and I think Hit X, there's no way he's
ဒါပေမဲ့တတ်ရတယ်
But space created
တတ်ရပြီ
for the turtle.
retreat
Falcon Esports should be able to get
အနော်မှာ dash it ဒါပဲလွတ်သွားတယ် P7 ကောင်တော့ပြန်ပေးရတယ်
not able to find him, but they will find PX7.
And that's how you play with the Louis Yi power plays on the macro level. Able to shake things up, keep them guessing. But Falcon Esports, they got the objective. They responded. Innocent went forward. Great response from Yumes earlier. I mean, both teams doing actually a pretty good job on both fronts. It's just right now, SRG obviously feel that momentum a little bit more, carrying into the gold lead that they have. But you can't count Falcon Esports out just yet. Yes, Benny had a hard time in the early game, but as long as he can keep farming up and doesn't die anymore, then he should be able to get to a point where, yeah, his damage is a big threat for those team fights later on. And remember, Kid X, he hasn't found that right implosion just yet, but if he does, and we're talking about the Lord fights later on, or even on a defense, we have seen that change before. So right now, Falcon Esports in a position where they just need to go ahead, stay calm and collected, farm up what they can, and get back in a fighting position against SRG. Because right now, it does feel like they're just kind of trying to catch their breath at this point.
Yeah, Falcon Esports can definitely afford to slow things down somewhat. I think the onus is actually on SRG to really try and make something happen, because we all know what kind of damage Bruno can output by now. He will normally hit his spike around that 15-minute mark, but since he's already died twice, SRG have been able to prolong that timer just a little bit. But once you get into the real late game stages, those 5v5 really scary. There's another close out! Innocent! With the sniping across the map, taking the Falcons out of the sky.
Oh, and Yume's jumping in.
Yep, he's still finding more Violet Requiem. There is nothing Kid X can do here. Selangor Red Giants will take their jungle.
Right now, the Beast is winning the battle. Royal Milk, too, doesn't want to overextend into that, because right now, this Lord is up. You can see the pushing going on here on the top side, but it looks like this is going to be a Lord for SRG. And still, they just keep the momentum going. Definitely looks like they're a lot more disciplined this time around and ready to carry in towards the base. They've got the tier 2 still to work through and even that tier 1 up top. But SRG in a good position. Even look at that damage dealt. I mean, my goodness, talk about the beast here, Innocent. Look at the damage profile on this Granger.
That is very, very impressive. Innocent, he did debut this Granger in the first game of M6, but they didn't do all quite well. But now they're changing it up. Diversion play into the back line. That's going to be your knockup on Royal Milk. Killing spree for Skies. And we can see that Selangor Red Giants are continuously applying pressure on the bottom half of the map. Skies even coming on the back line. A finger forward by Stormy. Purify used by Benny. Oh, my face. Two-man implosion from Kid X. But Skies still running forward. Mega kill. But they will trade Stormy for it, and Benny even picking up the shutdown.
They got a couple of kills. Benny's out of the picture again. Lord is still up in the mid lane. It's Kid X and PX7. No Eternal Guard available for PX7. They should be able to get this turret. Still putting the pressure there. They drop down the Glorious Pathway. And this is a reminder.
We'll say discipline. They went a little on the bottom side.
But they do get out. Just focusing on the turrets. It was only that first Lord. And so Falcon Esports, you know, they're seeing that goal bigger across from them. And they're feeling the amount of pressure that's being put. And it's really up to them to go ahead and slow things down, farm up to where they need to be. I think even to a sense, you know, Benny, the fact that he was able to get a kill and that we got that with the difference in terms of the value of items that they have, it's really difficult to capitalize on the implosions right now. Like, if you think about
diversion, Bruno,
sending this diversion.
Benny.
Benny should have seen that. I don't think he did, but he's still kind of at a bad angle that SRG can't really connect on, so they will eventually pop out, even the Glorious Pathway, just to make sure Falcon doesn't catch up with them as they back out from the jungle.
Falcon Esports just trying to scrape up what they can. And you know, this has been the struggle, Safa, of the Tigreal in general. Like throughout these past few days, I think even in a sense in the wild card, it's great to have him, and then you're just traditionally a tanky hero, but if you fall behind and then you have this kind of scaling happening for the opposite team, you're just a guy that's throwing your body to the wind and hoping that you get an implosion off. And if you do, then that's great, but sometimes you're even dead before the team can shine and follow through. That's a Malefic gun picked up now by Benny. This is the item that definitely is needed with a Bruno and has found a lot of success with. But I think even then, it's still, you're far away from getting to the point where you're able to actually turn some of the tides of this fight. This next Lord is coming up, though. And I think for Falcon Esports, we see them check things. They might actually try to fight it again because Kid X has a flicker available. Royal Milk could be the one to set things up too. And that's what we haven't seen too much of just yet. This Edith value. Has he been able to find those flicker combinations with the onward and Earthshatter combo? Where then again, Kid X doesn't have to be the guy to do it first, and he can follow through. But look at the amount of hope coming out from SRG already.
Only on Cram, they're cutting off Royal Milk specifically for the rest of the team. But it's on Cram and Humes, and it doesn't even matter as Kid X is just held it down from behind. Falcon Esports, no way to connect. This is going to be another free Lord for the Red Giants.
Another Lord taken by the power of the macro play that comes with a Loyi, man. It's something about this hero that just keeps teams on a guessing game throughout it. Where are they going to come from? What bush are they in? And here's a Glorious Pathway to the mid.
I love the way Cam using these just to set up space, and Innocent with the Death Sonatas. PX7 almost dead just like that. Dax can't even run in with the electrifying beats. Selangor Red Giants are looking to tighten the noose, put the final nail in the coffin for Falcon Esports. Lord now pushing in mid lane, gonna crash in, mid inhibitor gone easily for SRG. Royal Myth trying to hold the front line, and he knows that it's dangerous for him to stand too far forward. Even Primal Wrap used just to clear up the Lord, and they will finally at least hold against the SRG minion waves.
Gonna be able to hold it. They only lose that mid turret. So Falcon Esports still trying to stay into this. You know, this is looking a little dangerous and a little dire for them though, because of just how much poke from a range is gonna happen from SRG. And then again, too, even if Yums has the flicker available, they could push it in. Diversion going to be used again.
I know the goal.
Putting up everyone into the facial migration. Royal Milk knocked out. Mega kill already for Innocent. Implosion. Graham. Benny picks up a and now Dax shutting down Innocent himself for a mega kill. Guys right in return for Falcon Esports, able to trade even 2 for 2 in their base defense.
Hey, they send in Cramp, but hey, it's hard to shoot a joy that's electrifying your beats, basically. You know, you can't really hit him with the Rhapsody with the way that hero alone has that kind of mobility. Good kill, honestly, to get. Keeping Falcon Esports in the game. Yes, they still have a huge deficit to work for, but that's a little bit of hope that they can work with. Because looking at the items too, you know, you're getting to a point where your damage profile is getting better, your defense is getting a little bit better for Kid X, but even so, and Kid X still both are getting melted. And now that you have a Malefic Roar picked up by Sakai's, this is a situation where you almost have to play in a sense of let's punish SRG if they actually go ahead and use those diversions, because often it's been that. It's diversion, send in Cram, here's a glorious pathway. We're trying to cut you off, Falcon Esports. And maybe it's in a position now for Falcon Esports where they can actually punish that and get someone down fast enough. Immortality also could play a part here for Kid X, because now he doesn't just get melted and blown up.
Yeah, we have to note, Falcon Esports traditionally is known to be a team that's actually quite good at high ground defense. And their composition right now is actually pretty effective at that, especially if SRG overcommits resources and gives Dax enough free space to walk in without having to worry about that crowd control. We are now at the 16-minute mark. This is a very, very crucial timing. Because whatever happens next determines whether Benny just takes over the game.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about it, and why Bruno has such a high win rate, contest rate as well. I think this is ultimately still obviously a lord in the hands of SRG. They're not going to get here in time. Kid X checks things out. That's Lord secured. Cram will just drop down the Glorious Pathway. Is going to be fine because they know they just wait for this Lord to spawn up before they get ready to march into the base. Now, Falcon Esports, this is where we look to see if they bought themselves enough time. You know, almost 17 minutes into the game. They've got some key items that they just recently picked up. But can they actually withstand another push into the base, especially with only one base turret left? This damage is just insane from Innocent. And honestly, at this point, like I said, for Falcon Esports, they're probably not going to get to Innocent. It's really difficult for them to even get in that range, in that zone. So they have to just wait for SRG to approach, hopefully punish, especially against this diversion, and then turn the tide of the fight. The Lord's going to be worked on. Down in the mid, there's Cram jumping in.
Glorious Pathway opens up the path. Primal Wrap used by Royal Milk. The last inhibitor will fall for Falcon Esports. Used with the two-man knockout right into the Stormy combo. Falcon Esports doesn't lose Royal Milk straight away. Implosion comes out, but Kid X just melts instantly. Skies loses immortality. Gonna be taken out by Benny. Falcon Esports still actually holding on to the crystal, but it is a 3v4 defense. Next minion wave coming in mid lane. PX7 gonna nuke it. Do some damage where they can. Dax looking for an opportunity. Purify spent on PX7. Another that they use as a flicker in. Knocks up on Dax, but no Violent Requiem. Cram creating space, but SRG can't quite get close enough. They cannot find the executions they need. So the crystal still stands for Falcon Esports, and they're trying to make sure that they can keep their hopes of moving on to the next stage alive.
Oh, they're gonna defend. They actually end up doing it. Great usage of the Purify earlier in the space and positioning from Benny, because if Benny was gone, that whole damage profile would have been diminished. Yes, PX7 is able to go ahead and hold things steady, but ultimately it comes down to Benny, and if SRG can take him out or not. I mean, both gold laners, hey, the panel previewed this leading into the matchup. It's the Beast versus the Claw, and that's exactly how it's fallen into place. You can see the items with both gold laners. Like, they're pretty much where they need to be. And now for Benny, you know, he's in a position where, yes, he can go ahead and sustain through some of the fights. He's even got the Rose Gold Meteor here. He's actually helping him with the Sea Halberd too, with some of the sustainability with that Revitalize across from them. But still, you have to be able to go ahead and defend maybe one more time if they actually just give up the Lord to SRG, because it's actually looking pretty difficult. I mean, look at the stacks here too for Innocent.
Wow. 840 stacks on the Granger there. But there is a notable weakness. Granger is a skill spam based marksman, which means that unless he is able to get close enough, he actually cannot whittle down crystals very quickly compared to something like a Bruno.
Yeah.
So Falcon Esports, as long as they can keep Benny in the
Family
backline,
SRG
has to break through the entire lineup to actually get a chance at ending the game.
They're doing right now. It looks like this time around, Staffa, they actually want to go ahead and contest this. At least showing face here. No immortality this time around for Kid X. It was expended earlier on, so they might rely on Royal Milk. And still going to be used.
Skill play already used. The baiting of Flicker from Stormy. Cram now forming the front line. Glorious Pathway pulling out Falcon Esports.
Dash winner Innocent.
Hey,
fire Innocent ဆော်ရပြီ။ဒါနဲ့ dash ပေးထားတဲ့အနေထားမှာအော်ကောင်းပြီရောက်ရေ။ကောင်းပြီမိမိစပ်ပဲရမယ်ငါလုံးမ
SRG the next lord
ရောက်ရေ dash လောက်သွားတာဆောင်းရမိုက်တယ်။မိမိစပ်ပဲရမယ်အောင်မလေးရှားရေ
Get a setup they're looking for and finally get a lord.
တော့ရေဆောင်းရလာရဲ့အဲ့ဒါကြီးကတော့တော့ဒါလောရပါဆို3လိမ့်ခက်တဲ့3လိမ့်မေကခဲတဲ့
SRG. And that's exactly what Falcon Esports has been looking for the past 20 minutes, man. Send in Royal Milk. Who cares if he's half health?
Beanie.
Come in with the implosion. And now it's them knocking on the base of SRG.
ကိုချိုးမင်းလို့ရိုက်ပေးလိုက်မင်းလို့ရိုက်ပေးလိုက်ပြောင်းရေပြီးဆိုပြီးလို့ပြရဒါရဲစက်ကို e-sport ဒါရဲမိမိစပ်ပဲရမယ်နော်ဒီရရမယ်ရောက်ရေမလေးရှားတွေမိမိစပ်ပဲ
The Falcons will soar once again.
No, Falcon Esports. ဒါပဲစီးရရမယ်အောင်နော်မင်းတို့3လိမ့်မြကခဲပတ်တယ်နော်3လိမ့်မြကပြီးရောမှခဲပတ်တာနော်တော့လေနားလေရောက်တယ်အော်လေးကောက်တယ်အတန်တွေဘယ်ရောက်သွားပြီလဲ
Esports
တန်တွေဘယ်ရောက်သွားပြီလဲမိမိစပ်ပဲရမယ်ရုပ် prediction တွေပေးတာ
did not have a good early game.
တော့ Falcon လာရှောက်နေတယ်ရောက်တကယ်တော့အော်နေတော့ရိုက်လို့ရတယ်ကွာမိမိစပ်ပဲ
And that's exactly what they did and why you cannot count any team out.
ကြိုက်အားရောက်ရေ SRG ရောက် HCT ဘယ်လိုဖြစ်သွားလဲ
Another victory added here for Falcon Esports. Amazing performance. Some adjustments for SRG. Let's throw it over to the
Falcon Esports. Bruno Pichel ရောက်ပြီ Bruno Pichel.
Thanks, Slice, as well as Dafa. What an absolute banger of a game. From dominating victory, what it seemed to be a dominating victory for SRG, Falcons turned it around in one singular.
အနိုင်ရရှိသွားပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ် Falcon Esports အနေနဲ့ကတော့
the rug. Big Satch here on the desk.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You know, 2 days ago when they lost to S2G, our Keita said in an interview that we lost because we didn't have the discipline. It happened again. Lack of discipline. They had the advantage. All 3 inhibitors down for Falcons. All they had to do was to wait, but they got impatient. And you know how Falcons operate. All they need is one good swipe with the talents, and it's GG.
Okay. You know what that felt like? You know what that felt like? It felt like Kid X looking at Stormy and just going, "Who?" And Stormy flinched.
He did.
He flinched for that moment. To be more accurate, he flickered, and that was the signal to go.
It was painful. It was painful to see, but honestly, an amazing game coming in for Falcons. With that being said, we do have one of the players coming up to the stage to have an interview with Rose.
Okay, interview
taking down the hometown heroes, Selangor Red Giants. Falcon Esports claims a victory against the hometown heroes. With me here we have Coach RC. Coach, how are you? You seem very nervous.
Yeah, super nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know because the crowd is so many.
So many. Okay, yeah. Malaysians are very supportive. Okay, now Coach, we know compared to your opponent, you guys actually are coming back from a defeat. How did Falcon Esports react to the matchup draw last night, knowing that you guys got drafted to go up against Selangor Red Giants today?
Actually, we know that their strength is early game to mid game, but I said just stay put on discipline, wait for our timing, then our late game is on ours.
I see. Now, I think we can see that Falcon actually did manage to play on the late game today, especially with their hero composition. We could see that late game was indeed theirs. Now, Coach, back in an interview with MPL Philippines, you have mentioned that you guys have been training for 2 months without break. Not even 1 day?
No.
Okay, now that you guys are just 1 match away, technically from the knockout stages, are you guys gonna like chill more, or are you guys still on that grind set mentality?
No, we don't want to rest. We want to continue the practice.
Continue the practice. So how is it looking like so far with no rest? I mean, is it very tiring, or are your players just as hungry for victory?
I think it's normal for us to straight practice without even resting. Yeah, just like that.
Just like that. Okay, Coach. I think another notable mention is that Dax said that you guys want to surpass whatever standards Burmese Gold has set in the past. Now, and you mentioned that actually you guys prepared a lot for Selangor Red Giants. What other teams do you think that could get in the way of this achieving greater than ever victory for you guys?
Actually, all of the participants in M6, we only want one team, and that is SRG.
Oh, all eyes were on SRG. Maybe you can share with us why?
Because of the MSC. Actually, on that MSC, we want them to face from that bracket, but we failed to how can I say? We failed to go in grand finals or maybe semifinals, something like that. But this day is for us is a grand finals day for SRG.
I see. So meeting SRG was like grand finals.
Yeah, we
for
have
Falcon.
a full respect for SRG.
I think that's very nice. I'm pretty sure the Malaysian audience respect that you guys actually respect their favorites. Now, Coach, maybe last words to the fans who came down to support you guys?
Thank you for those who support on Falcon Esports. Thank you guys for coming here.
Okay.
And also thank you for Malaysian people. We love being here, and I can say Malaysian fans is so fucking big.
Okay, thank you very much to Coach RC. And with that, let us right back to the panel to break down what happened in this matchup against Selangor Red Giants.